The dash for the cash is on.
First victory at Bristol for Christopher Bell, and he wins the $100,000.
Christopher Bell held off the gang of gladiators to be the best at Bristol and add to his bank account. Now, the chariots roll into Richmond. Bell and 3 other drivers hope to be cashing in the check under the lights.
It's going to be a dogfight on the short track tonight in Richmond, Virginia. We look forward to it.
This is Richmond. This is night racing. This is the dash for the cash. Right now on race day.
So for the second week in a row, the Xfinity Series drivers look to tame a short track, but this time it's under the lights. The Richmond Raceway seems to be all the drivers' favorite racetrack. And once again, for 4 drivers tonight, a win could carry the weight of an extra $100,000. So glad you could join us today for Race Day on FS1. We've got a full house here in our Race Hub studio. I'm Shannon Spake, Larry McReynolds, Regan Smith, and Jamie McMurray. All right, you at home can join in on this. Raise your hand if you like Richmond. Raise your hand if you love night racing. All right, so why is Richmond and night racing the perfect combination?
Well, I think it's the perfect size racetrack. It's 3/4 of a mile, and this is realistically our first night race, our first race under the lights in either one of these series. But the big question, almost exactly like in the Cup Series, any Xfinity Series, can anyone stop Joe Gibbs Racing? They've won 5 of the 7, 5 of the last 6 this year, and their record at Richmond is pretty good.
Well, like Larry said, it's the perfect size track at 3/4 of a mile, but it's really fast. Super fast racetrack. It has a lot of tire wear, and it's multiple groove. And I've never heard a driver complain about going to Richmond. I think everybody enjoys this place.
I like Richmond for all those reasons, but more importantly tonight, show me the money. I mean, come on. Somebody is going to get $100,000. You hit on that at the top of the show. How can you not be excited about $100,000 for these Xfinity guys? They're going to go to battle. They will have to beat Christopher Bell, but that's a lot of money.
Regan Smith is the ambassador of Quan. That's another quote from that movie. As you just mentioned, Christopher Bell loves Richmond, loves short track racing in general. He won both Richmond races last year, and in the last 6 short track races, he has finished first or second. Incredible numbers for Christopher Bell. He has to be the favorite coming into today's race, Jamie. Who can challenge him?
Well, I think Noah Gragson is somebody that I'm looking at. He finished second here in his Xfinity Series debut last year, but more importantly, he woke up this morning and he sent a tweet out that he went to bed at 7:30 last night and got up at 5 a.m. So he said he was already off to a good day. Then I looked, he was the fastest car in practice. He's going to start 12th today, which is a little farther back, but I think he'll have a good run.
If he's anything like me, waking up at 5 a.m. is actually going to make him a little tired in time for the race. That's why I think tonight could be Justin Allgaier's night. He has had fast race cars all year long. These guys can't buy a break. They need something to turn their momentum, to get that ship righted in the right direction for them finally. This could be the racetrack. He's always had speed here, doesn't have that win here. I think he gets it tonight.
Well, whether it's one of your drivers or whether it's Christopher Bell, this racetrack from a crew chief standpoint is like walking on a tightrope. You want the long run car because you know we're going to have some long runs tonight. But when we get that late race caution, you need to have that short run speed. Yep. You need to fire off the minute that green flag waves, and that can be like walking a tightrope. But I think a lot of these drivers are banking on long runs. We had over 9 drivers in practice that ran over 100 laps just in that practice session.
Oh, my goodness. All right, we also have a rookie in the broadcast booth this weekend. That would be one Chad Knaus. He's making his race analyst debut, and he's with Adam Alexander to tell us what the 7-time champion crew chief is looking for today.
Shannon, we are breaking new ground for the first time ever. We will have a crew chief in the booth, Chad Knaus, joining Michael and me tonight. You all set for this?
Man, I cannot wait. I'm excited about it.
What is more difficult, getting the 24-car balance for William this weekend or balancing Michael up in the broadcast booth?
I'm really concerned about being next to Michael because I know he always goes like this. Hey, Hey, buddy. Hey, so I think I'm going to wear shoulder pads just to make sure I don't get beat up too badly.
I think that's a good idea. I won't hit on you from the other side. And some information you should know. Christopher Bell, he's been really good on short tracks lately. Got the win last weekend at Bristol. In fact, when you look at the numbers, he's won 4 of the last 6 short track races, including a sweep here a year ago, which brings me to, do you know anyone who's ever swept here at Richmond?
Very fortunate enough to do that with the 48 car a couple years ago, so that was a lot of fun. And not only that but Christopher Bell was coming off a win last weekend in Bristol, so he's got a lot of momentum on his side.
Bring all that knowledge to the booth, okay?
You got it. I'll see you in a little bit.
You got it. Shannon?
All right, what's your advice for Chad Knaus as he gets ready to make his debut in the booth?
Well, the first thing, you are in the booth with Adam Alexander and Michael Waltrip. If you want to get a word in edgewise, you may raise your hand first and you just be aggressive. You already have the Michael Waltrip arm protection down. You've got that. Here's the great thing, Chad, about being a crew chief analyst. Go ahead and go down the road of any strategy you want to, because why? You don't have to worry about the pressure of a bad call and answer to Mr. Hendrick on Monday. And if you decide to do this full time down the road, get bigger clothes, you're probably going to gain about 10 to 15 pounds. Just ask our buddy Jeff Gordon.
Yeah, happy people eat cake. That's what I say. Happy people eat cake, and you guys are very happy. We have much more of Larry's advice and of our show coming up next as drivers are getting ready to race at Richmond Raceway. Take a look at those cars on the grid. On and off rain today, but look at it. It's dry out there right now. We've got more race day coming up next.
Bell's a competitor. He's on a mission right now. He was shot out of a cannon.
This kid wins in everything he climbs in.
Christopher Bell hangs on in Richmond.
Incredible season 2018. Christopher Bell sweeping both of the races at Richmond 1 year ago. So Jamie and then Regan and then Larry, you guys tell me, is he the guy that we're looking at today as the winner? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Hit the gas.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that's another show.
We knew he wouldn't be able to just give us a one-word answer. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, yes. And I think that's like the first time you've actually ever done that. Good for you.
I take instructions well.
So 24-year-old Christopher Bell is an old man compared to 3 of the younger drivers in the field today. 20-year-old Noah Gregson, 20-year-old Riley Herbst, and 19-year-old Zane Smith. All 3 of those guys have a very bright future in NASCAR, and all 3 have been on the ride to the top together.
Riley's the smart one. Riley, I'd say, is probably the smartest out of the group. Me and Noah are pretty dumb. I'm the leader, I feel like. I wouldn't say leaders, but the most outgoing would definitely be Noah. I'd say I'm the alpha. Do anything you dare me to do something, I'm going to do it. And Zane is the whipped one. No, he ain't alpha dog. No, he ain't it. He thinks he is, but he ain't it. Riley, cut it out. Dude. I've actually grown up with Riley. I mean, pretty much me and Riley are brothers from another mother. Me and Zane were always into racing, going to off-road racing with our dads, and we brought Noah along, and he was hooked with the racing bug, just like all of us were. We do everything together, whether it be playing NASCAR inside line together when we were younger, or collecting die-cast cars, racing legend cars, you name it. We were just being a bunch of dip dots when we were younger, and we were just a lot of friends. We do everything else that any other teenage kids would do. We live all in the same area down in Charlotte, North Carolina. And during the summer times and off weeks, we go on the lake. Wake surf is pretty much our main deal. Zane, I don't know, Zane's kind of changed. He used to be really close with me and Riley. Now he just spends all his time with his girlfriend. All in all, it's just 3 kids having fun.
You come down to the Truck Series making your first start? Trying to cherry pick some trophies? You're on the Kyle Busch program, huh?
We are definitely competitive with each other. We are. It's kind of brutal sometimes. It doesn't matter if it's racing or if we're out on the lake wake surfing. We're always trying to one-up each other. When we come to the racetrack, we don't really speak much. We're here to do our business, and that's to win for each individual teams. We all came out to North Carolina to Concord, all the race shops when we were younger, when we were racing legend cars together. And really, we had no idea we were going to be here or make it this far. Just want to go out and kick their you-know-what. More than anyone else, I want to finish in front of them. They're definitely going to be in our rearview mirror, the 9 and the 8 cars. My first goal is to win the race, but second goal is to beat them Yahoos.
I'm going to put on my mom hat for a second. You boys better be careful on that water. That was a little crazy on that jet ski. Riley Herbst is starting on the pole tonight because of qualifying being canceled, so good luck to the young man out there this evening. So we got much more to come on race day. We are going to try to catch up with that guy right there, Elliott Sadler. He is back, and we are so excited to see him in that fire suit and see him climbing in that car. One of 2 races for Sadler in 2019. We'll chat with him coming up next on race day.
Here comes Sadler.
Elliott Sadler's a great man, a great family man.
Home sweet home. Elliott Sadler, a winner, and he's in victory lane. Sadler takes home the $100,000.
His consistency is unmatched by anyone else.
We told you before the commercial break, Elliott Sadler is in tonight's race, and he is joining us now. And Elliott, wait a second here. I know that you're one of the older guys in the field, but come on, dude. You're in a rocking chair out there?
Thank you, Larry Mack, for sending me your rocking chair off your front porch from Charlotte. Very thoughtful of you.
All right. So what have you been up to the last few months, Elliott?
Well, I've been pretty busy, man, doing a lot of coaching, doing a lot of stuff with, in the community with a lot of young kids in the area I live at, and just want to try to get some kids off the streets and on the ball fields and back in the gym and giving those kids an opportunity, and that's kind of in my blood, and that's what I love to do, and I want to do everything I can to support my community and my hometown, and we're trying to do that. So I've been pretty busy, staying busy and having a lot of fun, to say the least.
Well, Elliott, we've definitely missed you, and it sounds like when you walked in the garage area today that a lot of the fellow competitors, drivers, crew chiefs, crew members, they came up, they were glad to see you. But I have to believe the Elliott Sadler fans are glad to see you. How overwhelming is it for you to know that you're the only Xfinity Series driver to be voted by the fans 4 times, including the last 3 consecutive years, as the Xfinity Series most popular driver, voted by the fans?
Well, it felt good, Larry. I mean, to walk in the morning, this morning to the garage and everybody coming up and say, hey, we missed you and it's good to see you, and shake hands and give hugs with a lot of, friends I have in this garage meant a lot. But to see the fans all around the track, because here at Richmond they have such good access, and we signed a lot of autographs this morning, took a lot of selfies, and saw a lot of people, the drivers. So it makes me feel good. It makes me really cherish the time that I've had in NASCAR and how special the fans have meant to me. So it was neat really kind of bringing that all back together today.
Elliott, tonight is a Dash for Cash race, and it's on a short track as well. I want to take it back to 2013 with you. You were none too pleased with me after one of these Dash for Cash races. I want to know, now that you're retired, have you finally come to grips with the fact that you came across my nose and spun yourself out down there? And can we just make that water under the bridge now?
100%. 100% water under the bridge. No problem at all. Look, I'm sitting in the rocking chair. How could I be mad? How could I be mad?
I heard you're kind of like Phil Mickelson, and you walk around with $90,000 hanging out of your pocket frequently, so I didn't figure you'd be too mad.
That's what's cool about racing, and we're going to have ups and downs like that. The one thing I do regret about retiring is you don't really care what people think after you retire. I should have roughed some more people up than what I did.
Elliott, I'm not sure if you're aware of this or not, but Jimmy Johnson is going to run the Boston Marathon on Monday. And I know that the two of you are essentially fitness fanatics, so I was curious if you'd shared any workouts together, but more importantly, if you'd had any eating advice for him. I've been on your Twitter, and it's been, well, interesting. Here you are, you're having a little Hunt Brothers pizza. Now you're chugging coffee creamer, which is really interesting. I've never heard of that one. A couple of biscuits, and maybe you need to shave here. That looks like it must be really good. Oh, and now here you are with your dog, and it looks like you got some, I think it's moonshine, which is critical for hydration, so that might be something to do. Now you got a headband on, having a little baby spinach, which means that you were probably seeing if you could get back in your suit. I see that you're in the suit, but are you ready for tonight?
I am ready for tonight, and I have the last couple weeks got myself back in shape, ready to go. I think I should be fine tonight. I'm glad it's a night race. It's going to be nice and cool out here tonight, but we're ready to go. But look, some of those, pictures and stuff like that, people ask me, it's like, how can you do that on a Tuesday night? And I'm retired. I can't. So that's the fun part of it. And look, if Jimmy Johnson wants to go run the Boston Marathon, I'll be glad to sit at home on the couch and drink a beer and watch him. I think that'd be great.
Well, Coach Sadler, we are very, very happy to have you in the race, and thanks for joining us today. Good luck.
Thank y'all so much for having me. You guys have fun.
Race day is going to be right back as we get you ready for Richmond. You see all the fans down there. The time has come to pray, sing, and fly. So let's go trackside at Richmond for opening ceremonies for tonight's Xfinity Series race.
Thank you for the driver's plan and everyone who's standing here. We thank you, Lord, as you continue to bless us with outstanding weather. Tonight, Lord, we thank you for America. We thank you for our freedom. We thank you for all the men who serve in the military all around the world. We do not forget them. We thank you that the job is well done. So God, tonight, bless this boy. Protect their drivers, protect their fans. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Here to honor America with the singing of our national anthem, please welcome Mrs. Richmond, Virginia, Melissa Burton.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed, and twilight's last gleam, whose broad light and bright stars grow that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
More race day coming up after the break. We have still stumped the Mac, so we've got a special edition. Don't miss it. We got a few more minutes before we head back out to Richmond to start engine. So let's play a little game of Stump the Mac, why don't we? Or Stump the Mac. So what we're going to do here today, since Regan is in the house, Regan and I are going to team up, double S.
Clearly, I am not a Mac.
No,
so
you and I are going to team up against the Macs, and then the Macs are going to team up against the double S's. So our questions are to you guys. Your questions, you guys get it?
We get it.
Okay, good. All right, so first question. Here, ready?
Yeah.
Okay. The largest office building in the world is in Virginia. What is the name of the office building?
The largest office building.
You guys can play along at home, too.
Oh, they're not getting this
No?
one. No chance.
Larry throws something in the air.
What about you? You can throw throw something in the air.
Yeah, I have.
Nope.
In Virginia.
The largest office building in the world
Such
is
an easy
the
one.
Pentagon. All right, so you guys go. Your question.
Okay, the card that I hold in my hand for Shannon and Regan.
Uh-oh.
What's the name of the football team on the TV show Friday Night Lights?
I never watched that show.
Oh, they're in Texas. I know that much.
Oh, that's a great.
I've never watched that show.
The Dillon Panthers.
There you go. I knew that. All right, 30 seconds.
My question. How many national championships do the Virginia Cavaliers men's basketball team have?
2.
That would be incorrect. It's 1.
Go ahead,
2019.
Jamie. What do you got?
All right, name the rapper and comedian that starred in the movie Friday.
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube, yeah, Ice Cube.
Who was the comedian?
This is a 2-part question. We got one
Chris
right
Tucker.
there.
It was.
Chris Tucker. I would quote him, but
Somebody
we
fed
can't.
you that answer.
All right, so we're done here. Stump the Mac, win over, awesome. Let's go trackside to start engines for night racing.
Race fans, it's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Here to give the command, please welcome our Grand Marshal, proud owner of a 2016 Toyota Tundra, and VIP customer of Priority Toyota Richmond, Charles Babcock.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Engines are started at Richmond. It is Friday night racing under the lights. We'll go up to the booth to Chad Knaus next.
We're on Fox Live on a Friday night in Richmond, Virginia. It's time for round 8 in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. It is the ToyotaCare 250. First night race of the year, second straight week. We are on a short track. And as the cars roll off the pit lane, we highlight crew chief Chad Knaus. No doubt he's been a huge part of racing history. Spent time not only on the pit box, but on the pit wall changing tires for 4-time champion Jeff Gordon. Then he started winning some titles of his own as a crew chief. 7 different occasions he stood on the big stage with Jimmy Johnson, and now he is the signal caller for second-year driver William Byron. But tonight, for the first time, he is in the broadcast booth. Hey, everybody, welcome in with Michael Waltrip and Chad Knaus. I'm Adam Alexander. We're glad you're here.
I could tell by that last photo you guys just showed me. I mean, could we gotten a little bit better one from that standpoint? I'd say it's really exciting to be up here. Have never actually seen this racetrack from this elevation. What a great view.
You know, we had a rookie on the pole and a rookie in the booth.
Hey,
what could possibly go wrong tonight? And we've got short track racing action. This is one of the most fun racetracks to watch a race from. I can't wait to watch these guys mix it up.
Perfect time to have a crew chief here as our guest analyst, because these teams were on track this morning practicing. Garage open at 7. It's a long day, and we know the track is going to change. This is a tough time.
It's really going to change for these guys. So they had an hour and 55-minute practice this morning. They all had about 1 set of tires that they could use. And at this racetrack, those tires deteriorate very, very quickly. Then in comes all the rain, washes all that rubber that they put down on the racetrack for the Cup guys. It's all gone. So these guys are starting with brand new tires, essentially just waiting to rubber up the racetrack.
And as a driver, I'm going to lean on this guy, my crew chief, because he had to make many adjustments after that practice this morning and the way the track has changed. So I hope you made the right adjustments for my car, crew chief.
Yeah, me too.
One driver that might not need to lean on his crew chief, Christopher Bell. He's been on a roll, going for his 3rd win of the year tonight. It would be his 3rd in a row here at Richmond. Let's hear from our pit reporters. We start things off with Vince Welch. Good evening, Vince.
Hello, Adam. Well, as part of a special deal with Nutrien Ag Solutions, the sponsor for tonight, Elliott Sadler is coming out of retirement to run 2 races in the Xfinity Series, including this one tonight here in Richmond, Virginia. He's a Richmond native. It is a special night, teaming up again with the longtime friend and crew chief, Chris Rice. I talked to him right before he got in the car. I said, does it feel different tonight? He said, oh, yeah, it feels like it's fun. No pressure tonight for Elliott Sadler. Jake Little.
Well, tonight is the second Dash for Cash race. 4 drivers eligible to take home $100,000. Tyler Reddick in the 2 is one of those drivers. He's on a hot streak, 4 straight top 5 finishes. But in the only practice session this morning, they were mid-pack at best. They made a lot of changes to this race car. He had hoped that qualifying would be rained out. He got his wish, and because of points, he starts on the front row. We'll see if he can race better tonight. Adam?
Yeah, you talk about qualifying being rained out. Michael said a rookie is on the pole. That would be Riley Herbst, making his second career start here tonight at Richmond, driving the 18 for Joe Gibbs Racing. He is in a Toyota, driving behind a Toyota, pacing the field tonight, the 2019 Toyota Supra. What a good-looking car.
Oh, man, that just makes you want to go racing, doesn't it? Look at the sleek lines on that Toyota.
Got a last word of advice for your driver here, Chad?
I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this. I want everybody to pay attention as the night goes to the blackness of the racetrack. And that black that shows up as we get longer into the run is just rubber laying down on the track. And the cars get a lot tighter through that area. Nice and clean asphalt right now. I have a feeling, Michael, here in just a little bit, that's not going to be the case.
There you can see our race analysis. These guys are going to go 250 laps with their elbows up.
Stages are 75 and 75, then a 100-lap run to the finish, and it's key. We got to get to the end of stage 2 for this thing to be official. We say that because there is rain in the area. Green flag in the air. We're underway on a Friday night at Richmond.
And nobody knows what they've got rolling into this first turn right here, which is obvious with that number 9 way up the racetrack.
Still even, outside quarter. On the quarter, still on the quarter. On the quarter, still outside bumper, all clear. Back.
That was a nice drive off of that turn there by Herbst in the 18 car, Adam. You could see him really get on the gas hard. But look at the run. Reddick gets to the bottom, takes that lane away from the young racer from Las Vegas in the 18 car.
These guys start with such low tire pressure in their cars because they're all thinking about that long run. We know that first stage is 75 laps, so you keep the tire pressure down 3 wide off of turn 4 here. They're waiting for the tires to come in. So these guys are really going to kind of baby around you, would think, at this point. But it sure doesn't look like they're doing that.
When was that going to start, Chad? Because I've not seen 3 wide at Richmond in a long time, and this is a battle for the lead.
Outside lane, new man out front. 00 of Cole Custer. And don't look now, but here comes the 7 of Justin Allgaier. He's motivated after disappointment last week. Jamie talked about him. Tyler Reddick going in the wrong direction in the 2.
Yeah, Reddick was really concerned about his morning practice, but I thought the track changing and the crew chief getting under the hood and making some adjustments that could overcome that, but it doesn't look great early for the 2 car.
This is one of the most difficult racetracks for a crew chief actually to get a hold of, especially with a driver that maybe is a little bit inexperienced. It can be very challenging to get the entry, the center portion of the track, and the exit really combined, and the drivers will talk a lot about the track being broken up or disconnected through the corner.
See in our scoring pylon, those drivers highlighted in red, each of them going for an additional $100,000 here tonight. They don't have to win the race, just have to be the best finisher among that group. And right now, Cole Custer on point and thinking about a big payday as we go outside the top 10. It's the 9 of Noah Gregson, the 19. The green car is Brandon Jones. Ryan Sieg right in front of him.
Yeah, Sieg's having a nice run early here. This 2019 season has been a success for him early in the year, really putting up some good numbers, and he's got a good run going here early. That's Zane Smith in the 8 car just ahead of him. There you can see Larry's original hard lemonade, number 39.
What are you doing after the race?
You know, guys, so we're 7 laps in, and right about now is when you'll hear a lot of the crew chiefs tell the drivers to hit their fan switch, to turn their brake fans on the car. This place can be very difficult on brakes, but the key factor is to make sure you run a few laps to get some heat into your brakes and then turn the brake fans on.
That's one of my favorite views, Adam, right there, because key to running well at Richmond is being able to get the gas down early and accelerate hard off the turn. You struggle for grip, like Chad said, on exit. You can hear Haley just working that throttle. Let's listen to him down here in 3 and 4. He wants to get it down, but he's got to be patient or that thing will be sideways.
Haley made it to the championship 4 last season in the Gander Outdoors Truck Series. Solid start to his rookie campaign, but he's outside the top 10 right now. Your leader with 8 down at Richmond is Cole Custer. Battle for teammates here. Running into 3rd position. Give the spot to Christopher Bell. He's moving toward the front.
Yeah, and these guys are starting to work that upper groove. And Chad, I was a little bit surprised this early in the race they were able to make ground on the outside because it's so difficult if you don't paint that yellow line like you're talking about. But you can see not traffic, just by choice, Bell is up off the bottom of the racetrack. That's interesting.
It really is. And remember, this is a new tire that we've got here this weekend in Richmond. It's a different construction. It's more like what we run at the intermediate style racetracks. So keeping the car free rolling could be very important. I can see that. They've only got 660 horsepower. So if these guys get the opportunity to move up the racetrack and to make the straightaway longer, boy, they're going to take advantage of it.
And watch this. Bell went to third. He's a second and a half back of our race leader, Cole Custer. But this is the stage where your car can start to come in if it's good on the long run. That's how he was earlier today in practice. And you said they're going high? Watch Custer here a moment ago.
What you want to do is swing out as close to that wall as you can get so you can get a good arc down into the corner. And can you do it any better than that?
That's getting it out there. That's one thing about the composite bodies they've got in the Xfinity Series. You can get out there and you can brush the wall just a little bit and maybe not have any problems. And we got an opportunity here for that 7 car to take the lead.
Justin Allgaier, so frustrated lately. A win would change everything. Won both stages last weekend at Bristol and looking for the top spot here.
I just love.
Take care of your stuff here. Should be a long run. 10 to Bell.
And the spotter is relaying to Justin just what Chad was saying. You got to take care of those tires. You're going to have a long run running that higher groove. That could be a little bit harder on the tires too. Jamie Little, what's happening with Custer? He just lost the lead.
Yeah, and Cole Custer's saying it feels like ice after 10 laps on these tires. Then he asked his team, I am burning my stuff up here. Should I just let him go? So he backed it down just to take care of the tires. You guys were spot on.
Got to be patient here. And that patience can mean more things than one. Couple of young teammates going at it right now. Noah Gregson of the 9, the 8 of Zane Smith.
You remember on the first lap, Noah Gregson was all the way up out of the groove down in turn 1, lost a couple of spots. But when we talked to him earlier today, Adam, he was very confident in the way that number 9 was feeling to him. He has experience here, second a year ago. He felt like he had the car it was going to take to win the race. A shaky start, but now he's battling back.
Just in front of him, another rookie. That's John Hunter Nemechek. And the guy you see in the 10, not a rookie. Freshly out of retirement. That's Elliott Sadler at age 43 coming home.
Check out our visor cam. Watch Elliott work the wheel. Where'd that grip go, Chad?
I was just about to say, that's like clockwork at this racetrack. You get to about 24 laps, everything has to slow down. The car has to slow down. The driver's got to slow down. It may not specifically look like it, but this is a perfect example of, for a driver, Michael, and you know this, go slow to go fast.
Yeah, what you have to do is decide what it's going to take to let your tires live throughout the length of one of these green flag runs. And Cole Custer told his team, I think I'm going to back her down a bit. Christopher Bell must like the balance of his car because he continues to charge forward.
Bell started third, went back to fifth. And I remember seeing Kevin Harvick do this here a number of times where he's going in the wrong direction. You say, he doesn't have it tonight. And then 10 laps later, he's picking them off one by one. It appears that Bell is really dialed in on the long haul.
Comers and goers at this racetrack, you'll see it all race long. Use your tires early, you're going to fall back a little bit later. Nobody can put a complete package together here very honestly for about 75 laps. It's impossible.
Look at this traffic the leaders have caught. A lot of action there, and they continue to close down on Allgaier. Christopher Bell's now got it down to half a second, Adam, and we know a couple of laps ago he was over a second behind.
One thing I've noticed here, Jason Burdett and Justin Allgaier, they've done a really good job of being able to put maneuverability in that car. You can see he's painting the yellow line right now, which is really kind of a trait for Justin if you look back over history. But remember, he took the lead passing the 00 of Cole Custer on the outside, so he's got some maneuverability in that car.
And that's important here at Richmond because of lap traffic and because of trying to let your car slip and slide and finding a groove where it might work best in.
Bell up to second as he and Custer work around the 17. That's the lap car of Kyle Weatherman. A third of the way through our first stage at Richmond. Allgaier leads. The ToyotaCare 250 off and rolling on a Friday evening in Richmond, Virginia with Michael Waltrip, Chad Knaus. I'm Adam Alexander, and this Xfinity action has been great. Here early, Justin Allgaier leading, but right in his hip pocket, Christopher Bell. We knew the 20 was going to be good, and he's not disappointing.
Swept both races a year ago, going for 3 in a row. This is another car I like the looks of early, Adam. Chase Briscoe in the 98. He's been able to run up in the higher lane and make some passes. You see a good run off the corner there for that car.
Up to sixth, one of those drivers going for the $100,000. He's had 3 consecutive top 5s, and we know how important momentum is in this sport. Look at that.
And look who's going around the top.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that number 9 car right now of Noah Gragson's doing a great job. Dave Ellens has really got that thing working well. And Dave, championship crew chief, 2 times running. So this guy knows what's going on, and he knows how to get these younger drivers to get around this racetrack, which is very difficult.
Don't you love what Noah did there? Those two were just beating and banging each other a bit. He said, all right, this is my door, and it's open, and I'm going around the top. Made it work.
Michael, you said it. Bell going for his 3rd win in a row at Richmond, trying to match Kevin Harvick and Harry Gant in that category and working the inside of Allgaier as they go off at turn 2 midway through this first stage.
Anytime you can work Harry Gant into a broadcast, that's a cool thing.
I get bonus points for that?
Harvick was always so good here.
Clear up.
Back in the day, Harry Gant was the man. As you see, Christopher Bell finally around the 7th.
Now he's got the lead. What advice do you give him if you're Jason Ratcliffe on the pit box here?
Really, at this point, you just got to go and find that spot where your car is unabusive to the tires to the best of your ability. Like we spoke about the whole time, 75 laps here to complete this stage. That's a long ways on tires, and we're just past halfway. We've got 35 laps to go, so he's going to have to find a pace and a tempo that is just relaxing to the car in order to keep that thing up front the way he wants it.
Elliott Sadler continues to work the gas in his hands. He's running 16th. In 17th is Dylan Bassett. Adam, and this is a great run. His first start in the Xfinity Series, and he's pressuring Elliott Sadler.
Sadler from 27th to 16th had to start deep in the field because qualifying was rained out. Kaz Gralla, another driver in the 21, making his 2nd start of the year, working his way from deep in the field up to 21st. Top 3 right now, Bell, Allgaier, and Custer. And behind them, the 18 of Riley Herbst. So far, so good, Vince. That's right, and I'll tell you what, you've got to give not just Herbst, who's making just his 2nd career start in the Xfinity Series, but his veteran spotter, Rick Corelli, really doing a great job, reminding Herbst to drive the track. He's coaching the youngster through the corners and through the lap traffic, almost a constant presence in his ear. And how about the crew chief, Ben Beshore, working with his 4th different driver already this season, including 3 wins with Kyle Busch. A lot different working with Kyle Busch, and now you're working with Riley Herbst, who's running just his 2nd Xfinity Series race. And Noah Gragson in that 9 car. It's got a little too much swing through the corner for Noah's liking, but they've reminded him to try to take care of his tires, but he said too late, burned him up trying to catch the 18, so he doesn't have much grip right now. Those 2 drivers Vince just talked about, they went to high school together in Las Vegas. Riley Herbst right now taking classes online at Arizona State. He's a great kid.
Look at all those varying grooves. Way up the hill was the lapper, and there's Noah Gragson working his way up the middle. John Hunter Nemechek running 7th. Good start to this race for that young man.
Interesting fact on that 23, if you look at his right side brakes, his right front and his right rear are both glowing. That's being pretty abusive on the brakes. That not only hurts the tires in general, but what that does is that starts to build up the tire pressure on both of your right side tires. Not saying it's not going to work, but long term, that usually is not a good indication of what you've got going on with your race car.
Well, I hear talk that you crew chiefs are having a lot of fun with brakes these days. Maybe making one corner of the car stop more than the other that helps it handle through the corners. So I noticed that observant eye of yours looking down there and saying, who's doing what with their brakes?
Saw Tyler Reddick. He's fallen back to 9th. Right behind him, the 39 of Ryan Sieg. 30 laps to go in our opening stage. Bell, Allgaier, Custer, Herbst, Gragson, the top 5. You're watching the ToyotaCare 250 from Richmond. The sun is down, the lights at full song.
For this is the series where stars are born, and that's what Richmond's all about.
We are green in Richmond. Series teams racing in Richmond for the 71st time. It's the
ToyotaCare 250 on a Friday night. Christopher Bell took over the lead about 10 laps ago. He's out front. Allgaier, Custer, Herbst, Briscoe, the top 5. Gregson, Nemechek, Cindric, Sieg, and Reddick complete the top 10 with just over 20 laps to go in stage number 1.
2 and 8 are having a spirited duel here. Zane Smith down on the bottom. He's done a nice job in a couple of starts he's had in 2019. You can see moving around Reddick. Reddick continues to fall back. Big time adjustments will be needed for that 2 car. Chad, when they make this pit stop, what are options are they going to work with? Wedge, track bar, tire? What's their best plan right now?
I'd really be asking my driver right now, what are you feeling at this stage? This is a great opportunity, 21 laps to go in the stage. The track is finally coming in closer, quote unquote, to what it's going to be for the remainder of the race. So we need to know what we're trying to fix. Typically, you develop that loose end situation here with these cars. We all know about that. But the thing that's really interesting is these guys continue to move up the racetrack like you spoke about, Michael. It almost helps the loose end sometimes. It kind of gives you an opportunity to let the car have its head before you have to try to make it do something.
You know, Reddick's disappointed, 11th. A guy that's ecstatic to be in the top 15 in the 90, Dylan Bassett. His brother, Ronnie Jr., a couple of weeks ago at Texas, top 15 in his second career start. These kids out of Winston-Salem doing an unbelievable job with limited opportunities.
Yeah, Nathan Kennedy used to work for us over at Michael Waltrip Racing. His crew chiefing this car, and he said it's unbelievable the talent and the knowledge these young men have when they get this opportunity. And you can see Bassett, he's really able to run low. It seems like his car's handling so good down on the bottom. This is an impressive run. He started way back, and he's already up inside the top 15, and the team has been strong all day long. A good practice this morning.
He just went around his teammate Donald Teach. And here's a nice little battle. Sieg, and right behind him, Cindric, Zane Smith.
I've been watching Ryan Sieg, and he's in a little bit of traffic. He just got done passing that 5 car, but leading up to that point, he was actually matching the top 5 in lap times pretty consistently, really putting together a good run here.
Unbelievable average finish through 7 races for Ryan Sieg and that team. They have stepped up their game, Vince.
They certainly have, Adam, and they've improved their finishing position 10 spots over this amount of races last year, from 19th to 9th. That in itself worthy accomplishment. But they've updated their program. They're getting they've got an ECR engine program now. They purchased some cars from Richard Childress Racing, and that has been a big difference maker for this group. Good driver, putting the pieces around him, improving the results.
Yeah, it's a great story. That's a family-owned team. Cowboy Starlin running the ship over there, and I hope Larry's down there on the box with them tonight.
Brandon Brown driving for them this weekend, driving a second car, the 93, typically driving the family-owned operation in the 86, so a lot of power for the Sieg family this week at Richmond. Brandon Jones has been quiet after a couple of top 10 runs here last year. He finds himself 12th with 15 to go on the stage.
And I don't guess, Chad, I'd be too concerned if I'm able to run competitive lap times, get to this stage break, get that adjustment, another set of tires. You're going to have so much more knowledge about what your car needs as a driver to relay to the crew chief, and they can make those adjustments here at the stage break.
How about this? Plus 22 for Kaz Gralla tonight, Jamie.
So impressive so far, Adam. He started last in the field because there was no qualifying, and this is the 21 team's just second attempt this year, and he's doing a heck of a job. In the only practice this morning, he told me they really had some good long run speed. Well, we've gone caution free, and that's really played into his hands. Kaz saying he's just getting a little bit loose, and keep in mind, he's on a race-to-race basis. He has one more scheduled race, and that will be at Talladega in 2 weeks.
That team played strategy at Texas, and if it had worked out, he may very well have won it, certainly would have finished in the top 5. We're going side by side with 13 laps to go.
50 years is a big number.
Petty drove his Ford to victory. Richard Petty has won his 199th victory.
I don't even know where the 198th one was at.
And Dale Earnhardt has won the Budweiser 500. Jeff Gordon gets his 54th career victory.
I'm glad I could be the guy to win a race so I could carry the American flag.
Johnson wins his 11th at Dover.
Be a part of history. Celebrate Dover's 50th anniversary when NASCAR returns to the Monster Mile. Get your tickets at doverspeedway.com.
There's a place where muscle car culture is celebrated. Welcome to Muscleville, a Dodge owner's paradise, where you parallel park like this
And people show off their goods by popping their hoods. Where block parties look like this. The fashion is always forward. And rush hour takes on a whole new meaning. Come to Muscleville, where every day is a performance day.
Staying at Hampton for a work trip. Oh no. Your new boss seems cool, but she might not be sweatpants cool. Not quite ready to face the day? That's why we're here with free hot breakfast. Book at Hampton.com for our price match guarantee. Hampton by Hilton.
I'm going to open 2 beers. Okay. You tell me what sounds more refreshing. This one? Or this one?
Bush.
Agreed. The second one. That's 2 for Bush.
Now I had the time of my life, and I
The most delicious union of all time is back. Kentucky Fried Chicken and Waffles for a limited time at KFC.
You have to be perfect.
Here's the big one. The pass is flying apart.
Every week matters, every one of them. Nothing ever goes to plan.
I can't see.
I put a helmet on and I become a different person.
It's going to get crazy. Idiot.
Being able to go that fast and make split-second decisions. It's 140 degrees inside the race car and you can't afford to make a mistake. If you're not tired, you didn't drive hard enough.
Caution is out for the first time here at Richmond, and they're all going to pit, or at least a good number of them. Race leader Christopher Bell, the first to hit the pit lane, Vince.
Justin Allgaier pitting from second place. No entry stability at all for the 7. Instead of just free in, tight center, free off. But the stability on entry is the biggest issue. As far as Riley Herbst pitting from the 4th spot, just tight center. Again, facing that drive off. That's what he needs. You saw the chassis adjustment on the 7. Also adjustments on the 18 with 4. Jamie.
And a 00 Cole Custer low. On the track, he's tight. They're going to make an adjustment for that wedge and 4 tires on the right side. The 20 air pressure adjustment and 4 tires for Christopher Bell.
Cole Custer won the pole last week at Bristol, so he has the #1 pit selection. And no help here. He stays in the 3rd spot, comes off the pit lane behind Allgaier and Christopher Bell. Briscoe and Gregson pick up spots. Riley Herbst goes in the wrong direction. Everybody pits here with 8 to go, and be fun to watch the end of this stage.
Got a couple of guys that I think have chanced it. Adam, Michael Annette stayed on the racetrack, as did Ross Chastain. So they're going to start on the front row with tires that are not going to like this whole situation. It's going to be wild when we go back racing.
And what these guys are doing is they're just trying to save that set of tires for a little bit later in the run.
Tonight it's the ToyotaCare 250. Tomorrow it's the Toyota Owners 400. Kevin Harvick is on the pole. Race day on FS1 at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Then we're over to Fox at 7. Green flag shortly after 7:30. Short track racing in the Commonwealth. Going to be a lot of fun. And you and I were talking during the break a minute ago. You said what you've seen here tonight makes things very encouraging for tomorrow evening.
I think it could be a great race tomorrow. The way these guys are moving up the racetrack and really running multiple lanes really bodes well for the opportunity to go out there and have a good race tomorrow.
I just like watching Chad's gears quick. He's watching these cars run up high. What am I going to do to make my car work up there? And also how the brakes are working, what temperature that he's seeing there. There's a lot of things that you catch from this angle that you're probably not used to seeing.
No, an interesting strategy going on right now. Obviously, Travis Mack deciding to stay out there with that 1 car. Don't know how that's going to play out, but the thing that I am interested in is see how that plays out on the next stage after we get the green flag after 75 laps.
And you know what I love, Adam? This is going to be crazy because we saw 3 wide, 4 wide, and we're getting ready to see that again.
Restart is going to happen with 5 laps to go in stage 1.
These cars are not only not going to want to handle well when they get to the turn, they're not going to want to take off too well either. This is going to be a bit of chaos.
I guess though, if you're Travis Mack and you have a win, this is where you have an opportunity to go out and take a gamble, right?
The 1 stayed out from 13th. The 4 stayed out from 19th, so we'll see if they can get a net gain. That's all they're trying to do is to get some stage points right here. I'm betting we're going to see 3 wide before we get to the end of entrance to turn 1.
Looked like the 4 bailed. Mike Lynette said, I'm out here, and I'm staying out here.
There goes Bell to the outside.
30 right middle, 30 right middle, 30 right middle. 30 right
Everybody going by.
Oh, geez, that didn't pan out well.
I'm like you, though, Chad. I think 4 or 5 laps on tires, we know his are going to be better when he does pit, so maybe we'll see if it's a net gain at the end.
That's what he's got to shoot for. He wants to be better than 13th when it all comes around, and he's 13th right now, so we'll see.
And it isn't all going to come around for another 5 or 6 laps when he can get to pit road and get some tires on that car.
But we can see the delta right now. You know, you run 5 laps around Richmond, and you are really beating up your tires, especially as hard as these guys up front are charging. He's going to have fresh rubbers on there, man. He might do a good job.
Tyler Reddick, who had drifted outside the top 10 on that first run, has found a little speed outside of Cindric. They are racing for 7th. That's Briscoe right in front of him. Zane Smith a part of that mix as well. 3 to go, first stage.
Really too bad for the 39 car. They had done a good job moving up there, and they had that pit road penalty on that series of pit stops.
There's Reddick. We know he likes the high side, swinging into that turn. A little bit of a shove there from the 22 of Cindric, and they're going to be 3 wide again.
Middle 3, be smart. 1 inside. Just you 2 now.
Reddick has scored stage points in every race, every stage this year, and in position to do it once again. Final lap here at Richmond of this first 75-lap run. Allgaier so good to start the race and good on the restart here. Takes the top spot, and he's going to win a stage for the 3rd consecutive time. Swept last weekend at Bristol, and he's got stage 1 in the bag here at Richmond. Allgaier, Bell, Custer, Gregson, Nemechek, your top 5. 75 laps complete in the Commodore. Let's go on this date, April 12th, 1877, James Alexander, tied using a catcher's mask. I always liked that when I was behind the plate. 1961, went to outer space for the first time. And 2012, Candy Crush came into play. How about 1952, Hall of Famer Buck Baker wins for the first time in his career at Columbia Speedway. Various strategies playing out in the ToyotaCare 250. Michael Annett, one of those drivers that didn't pit. He has made his way onto the pit lane to get routine service here. And now we go with our Ford Performance Track Facts. Richmond wins by 4 drivers. Not shocking, Mark Martin leads the way. Kenny Wallace worked so many years with us here at Fox, had 3 victories. Jason Keller, we were talking about him last week. That's a name that hasn't come up in some time, but one of the great veterans here in the NASCAR Xfinity Series for many years. Hope he's doing well wherever he is tonight.
Yeah, drove for his family-owned team.
Yeah.
Did a nice job.
From Spartanburg, South Carolina, I believe, right?
Looks like the one car not in a bad spot. He was running 13th before that series of pit stops before the end of the stage. Now he's taking their 4 fresh tires in 18th position. That could be a really good spot for him right now.
I just love the strategy. I love what those guys did. They said, we don't have a winning car. We're going to work on it. We're going to make adjustments. We're going to improve it. But I think we got to take a chance here, run some laps on these tires, have fresher ones when we go back green for this 2nd stage. I think this is a great move.
Yeah.
If you're not where you need to be, at some point you got to get out of the box, and he sees how strong these guys are up front. So Allgaier wins stage 1. And he will be the leader on the restart, taking the inside lane. Bell will join him on the front row. Custer and Gregson in row 2. Then it's Nemechek and Reddick, Cindric, Zane Smith, Chase Briscoe, Brandon Jones, your top 10. All 4 of our Dash for Cash drivers in the top 9 as we return to the green flag to begin stage 2 at Richmond.
This restart zone's difficult as well. You're kind of driving into the banking if you're further back in traffic, and boy, can you get loose coming here.
Nice break there by Allgaier, the 7, but maybe even a stronger one for Cole Custer in the 00 on the bottom. Was able just about to peek to the inside.
3 wide once again.
Said that a lot tonight, haven't we?
I'm telling you.
Keeping those spotters up on the roof busy. With all these guys making these bold moves.
Item, clear up. Clear up. 2 Dyson.
Look behind the top three. Nemechek in the 23, rookie. Noah Gregson in the 9, a rookie. Zane Smith in the 8, first-year driver, making his 3rd career start. And they're racing with a veteran, Austin Cindric. It's his 2nd year in the Xfinity Series.
Names are made here, Adam. That's why these young kids show up for the Xfinity Series, and they're ready to go.
Let's hear from Cole Custer's radio, running 2nd.
Yeah, the weather is kind of coming in and out, breaking up. So it's going to be hard to tell you exactly how many laps we think. So just do what you said, what we talked about, maintain, and then go.
Crew Chief Mike Shiplett. Won here a couple of years ago with Kyle Larson.
Mike's got a lot of experience, and obviously nobody down there is a weatherman, but he does a pretty good job of knowing what the weather's going to be like and pay attention to what's critical. And these guys watching all this go on, they're racing for that 2nd stage, because at the completion of stage 2, if the rain comes, the race is official and they call the race.
What about slipping into the picture there in the 4th position, just behind this battle for 2nd? John Hunter Nemechek. That car just keeps getting better and better.
Guess I shouldn't have said too much about those brakes. Apparently they got them just right.
You got to find the line, right? Rain is on the way. That could be good news for Allgaier, who's leading right now, Vince.
Well, and it has been a frustrating season for Allgaier. He led the most laps last week at Bristol, 138, but finished 30th. I asked him before the race today, sum up the season. He said one word, frustrating. He's not too frustrated right now. They made a pit stop at lap 67, worked on the car, and he said the balance is really good right now. Jason Burnett has tuned it up.
This duo's been outstanding the last few years. Couple of trips to the championship 4, won 5 races a season ago. And I was shocked when they led those laps last week at Bristol. First time they'd been out front this season.
That is odd. I didn't realize that. And then they had a mechanical problem last week and unfortunately took them out of the race. So those guys, a solid foundation. We all understand how important that crew chief driver relationship is. They can actually have communication just frankly with one another and know exactly which one of them needs. And he's really planted on the bottom of the racetrack, doing a really good job.
Look at Kaz Gralla. We were 3 wide again, and Brandon Jones up on the top side. And check this out from the outside. We were riding along with Haley. He decided he'd make the move on the top.
That's got to be an uncomfortable position for Brandon Jones there, Michael.
It's totally uncomfortable, and it's also really uncomfortable for Kaz Gralla trying to pinch that car down on the bottom.
As a crew chief and your driver's sitting there and you know that he's doing everything he can and all you want him to do to save the tires. Take care of your tires. And that poor guy, all he wants to do is get on the gas and get away from that chaos that's going on all around him.
Saw that Hot Stream ice cream sponsorship for Kaz Gralla. He needs to be here full time. He's been so good in his couple of starts this year. And there's Michael Annett off sequence when it comes to strategy, racing Jeremy Clements for 17th on track.
Yeah, and he's done a nice job of maintaining, but I just really felt like that the car had more speed in it, and he would move forward after the great call made on pit road, but it hasn't paid off yet. You can see right behind him the 90 of Dylan Bassett's heating him up.
You know, Allgaier has maintained his advantage over Christopher Bell. They're the top 2, 17 down in our 2nd stage. 5 laps complete in stage 2. It's the ToyotaCare 250 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series here in Richmond. And since we're under the lights on a Friday evening, what do you say we crank it up? Sponsored by Kawasaki.
22 laps on tires. Copy, just now starting to lose a little bit of grip. Entry, middle, and exit on 3. Inside by himself. Don't let him screw with you like this. Still there, outside. Still there. the middle, Doc. Nice car there. See that 74-2 up real slow on the bottom. One back 21. Top line, inside, way low, inside. Inside, left rear. Clear. Left short, clear. Still out there. Clear, clear, clear. Real slow up high, clear by 3. We'll see that guy behind about a lap. Far center.
Justin Allgaier won our first stage. He's led 52 laps tonight, and his advantage over second place Christopher Bell over a second. Both of those front runners working lap traffic as we check in on Noah Gragson and Austin Cindric racing for that final position inside the top 5.
Yeah, I love the versatility that the 9 car has shown. I watched Noah just run around the bottom a couple laps, caught a lap car, went to the high side, felt like he learned something up there. His car maybe handled better, and now he's putting it to use racing with Cindric.
But you said, Chad, if you're going to be successful here tonight, your car has to have some versatility.
And that's exactly what I've seen with this lap traffic with the 7 car. He is able to maneuver this traffic so well. When they were in clean air, Christopher Bell was actually running him down. Got from like about 2.5 seconds back all the way up to about a half of a second from him. As soon as they hit that lap traffic, they were all over the racetrack. And the 20 was kind of pinned. He couldn't make it happen. We just about had some contact there with the 7.
What's up with Bell right now, Jamie?
Yeah, he has been so impressive on these short tracks. So coming in, I talked to Jason Ratcliffe, his crew chief, and he told me they were really happy in practice this morning. Had good short run speed, good long run speed. And to start the runs both times tonight, on the initial start and the restart, it fires off a little loose, but the longer we run, the better the car is. But he has his work cut out with them tonight with the 7 men.
Hey, and how about Elliott Sadler? Guy's come out of retirement. He's up from the 27 starting spot inside the top 10, running 10th right now. Was a little tight in that first stage. They adjusted on it at the break and handling it much better, much more comfortable. I think this guy's still got some left in him. What do you think?
I think so. 43. That's not old.
What's that George Jones song? I don't need no rocking chair, right?
I'll tell you who's rocking, and that's the 39 car of Ryan Sieg. He's continually running the fastest laps on the racetrack. He's moved up to 7th. Last time by, he ran a 24:30. That was a 10th better than our leaders.
3 wide with a lap car. The 42 is Chad Fincham. Gragson dives to the inside of him while hanging on the outside of the double deuce. That's Austin Cindric.
These guys are all getting the messages from their crew chiefs right now.
Half in line. Good job, man. You go drive away here.
Weather is imminent, ladies and gentlemen. It is on the way. We're less than 18 minutes away from what we predict to be the storm to come. So these guys are telling their drivers right now, if the weather's coming, guys, we've got to get going. At the end of this stage, this thing's going to be done. And at this pace, I think we're going to make it happen.
39 to go. Could be 39 to the finish in Richmond. Justin Allgaier leading the ToyotaCare 250. The Fox Sports app.
Brakes are hot.
Exhaust is hot.
Yes.
Drivers are getting hot under the collar. We're racing the weather, racing the competition. I love short track Friday night.
Really interesting right now. The 20 car's been able to roll up onto the 7, running a little bit higher on the racetrack. Now, I know this is a short track, and a lot of guys don't believe this, but once you get behind another car, you get that aero-tight situation. That's exactly what the 7's doing right now, is he's rolling up the racetrack a little bit, staying right in front of the 20 to the shore. The 20 can't complete that pass.
And that's what the spotter's job is, to help you as the crew chief. Let that driver know he's running second. He's a half a groove above you in the turns. Move up. That's the spotter-driver communication that can be valuable for these racers.
Absolutely, because the 20 is definitely faster than the 7. He just can't get a clean enough run to get it alongside of him.
Allgaier's now led over 200 laps in the last 2 races. He's won 3 stages. If he doesn't get the black and white checkered flag tonight, he's going to be highly disappointed, Vince.
Well, you got that right, but right now the car has just lost its grip, and he said it has really swung all of a sudden from a pretty balanced car with a good feel to it to all of a sudden no grip, and that's why you're seeing that 20 close up closer and closer.
But this is a time in the race, Vince, where the 7 of Allgaier, he's going to use every trick he knows. Like Adam said, he's moving around. We're trying to get the air to disrupt on the nose. So Justin's really working hard in that car to try to help that situation.
He feels like this place owes him one. Remember a couple years ago when he was racing Kyle Larson, spring of 2017, they went at it pretty good, and race ended under caution. Both drivers thought the race wasn't over. They were still competing even after it had been made official by NASCAR.
That's good. Just a little more bend, pointer straight.
So, more driver coaching there. He wants him to maybe dime in the corner a little bit, it sounded like. A little more bend and then point it straight.
Eddie DeHaan, the spotter for Justin Allgaier. Tony Hirschman, the man on top of the spotter stand for Christopher Bell, trying to coach their driver to the right line, put them in the best position for success.
And it's always easier for the crew chief and the spotter than it is for the driver. We know exactly what you guys need to do, Michael. I don't know why you can't just do it.
You tell us to do it all the time.
So just keep taking with me. Remember, race isn't official till we get to the second stage end anyhow, so it's 25 more.
You know, it used to be in NASCAR, you just have to make it to halfway. That's where we are right now, but the new rules say you have to finish the second stage for the race to be official. 25 to go here in our second stint. Great battle for the lead, and right of your screen, the 39 of Ryan Sieg continuing to drive to the front.
It's impressive. He's caught Cindric all over the back of him, and the battle for the lead, there's battles all over this racetrack.
Yeah, that 39 did a really good job. Over the wall too soon. Oh, we got a smoker down the back straightaway in the 51.
Yeah, that's Jeremy Clements.
And they were just on pit road, weren't they, Adam, with their hood up?
They were. Caution is out.
Where do you guys want to go? Yeah, follow your man, right?
Now what do you do? The crew chief always has to have a plan in his pocket ready to go. What happens if we have a caution flag right now? And I'm looking at Chad's pockets, and they're empty. How do you make this decision, Chad? You've been in this position before. We got a stage incoming. The weather's on its way. Do we pit or do we stay out?
So my radar, my magic radar, tells me that we're just about to get a pretty big storm, and it looks like it's just starting to sprinkle right now. So I think if I'm the crew chief, I'm staying out.
But if it does storm and it rains right now, we red flag.
It's sprinkling right now. It has been for 10 or so laps, but nothing major.
Now put an asterisk on that. That's the race leader that's saying that, Justin Allgaier, who in a way could benefit him. I don't know, he's got another 23 laps. He's got to be out front for this thing to be official and for him to get the victory. But at some point, the race leader is going to sell it's raining so he can leave here with the trophy.
I'm a little bit perplexed, Chad, because do I pit now, even though it's you know, it's gonna rain, we know that, but we know the race isn't official until the end of stage 2. You might give a race away. I mean, you just got to understand what this weather's doing, I guess, to make that decision.
We got a caution. We got 22 laps to go on the stage, and rain starting to fall in Richmond, Virginia. You are watching live coverage of the ToyotaCare 250. We're live in Richmond, Virginia on FS1 with Michael Waltrip, Chad Knaus. I'm Adam Alexander. Justin Allgaier won our first stage. He's led 78 laps tonight. He's out front right now. As we close on the end of stage number 2, we're cleaning up from what appeared to be an engine problem for the 51 of Jeremy Clements. Behind Allgaier, Christopher Bell, who also has led laps tonight. Rest of the top 5, Custer, Nemechek, and Cindric. What do you have, Vince?
Well, Justin Allgaier and crew chief Jason Burdett having a conversation about whether they come or not in relation to the weather. If they come now and get tires and it doesn't end up raining and washing this thing out, and they have to by chance come back tomorrow, or they would come and get a second set, the final set at the end of this stage, they would have nothing left for the end of the race, and that's not a position they like to be in. This really was not the time to get the yellow to match up with their strategy, so they can't really decide, at least at this point, what they're going to do. They don't want to run out of tires.
And pit road yet to open under this caution because all the cleanup on the back straightaway.
And I think only Chad Canals knows how that crew chief feels right there. I mean, you can just see the look on Burdett's face. What am I going to do now?
I mean, it's raining hard enough right now. They may just call it, but if everyone comes in front of you, I think we got to come with them and just stay on their strategy. Yeah, it's 10-4. You're probably going to tell me it's on me, and I'm going to tell you it's on you, so you probably need to make a decision who it's on. Nah, man, this one's going to be on me.
You said the fuel window's what?
It's about 111 laps.
And
So-
we're at 118 to go now.
I don't know that that's necessarily what you're trying to set up for, because I don't feel like we're going to sit around here and roll around under caution for 17 laps. So we're going to have to pay attention to what everybody else does. And if you're the leader, what you don't want to do is necessarily do the opposite of everybody else.
And we saw how important tires are when Mike Lynette started on the front row and dropped to 13th in one corner. So they've got to consider that as well. But strategy is what this play is all about. How do we get tires now, run till the stage break, the weather's fine, and then go win the race? Weather's going to have a lot to do with their strategy.
And Vince mentioned this. Everyone has 2 sets left. You could put a set on here, and then you'll have one more set of stickers in the pit area for that final stage, and we now have been told pit road is open.
And look at that, the 7 stayed out. That could be painful.
Oh, it's going to be painful. Everybody came behind the 7 to pit road.
21, Gralla stayed out.
What do you have, Vince?
23 of John Hunter Nemechek just needs a little bit more drive off, so they're going to give him the 4 tires and an air pressure adjustment, and hoping that they get some more green flag racing here. Jamie?
Jason Ratcliffe did not waver. He said, when we come, that was the plan all along. Struggling with drive is the biggest deal with the 20. Also a little bit loose. Air pressure adjustment is all they've made tonight.
A mixed bag when it comes to strategy. Race off pit road goes to Cole Custer. Bell comes off second. Then it's Cindric, Nemechek, and Gregson. We're watching our monitors in the booth. We've got an eye to the sky. And we are also watching what's happening out front behind the pace car. Justin Allgaier is the leader. He stayed out. Here's their conversation a moment ago.
I probably don't want to know who didn't come down, huh? Probably not.
No.
There's about 4 or 5 that may have stayed with us right here. Copy.
I count 4. Dylan Bassett, Ross Chastain, Kaz Gralla.
That's your man Bassett.
Yeah, he's really been fun to watch.
Stephen Light.
Yeah, Greg Alding's been solid all day long as well, running inside the top 15.
This is exactly what Jason Burdett wants. He wants as big of a buffer between him and the guys that have fresh tires as he can possibly get. Cole Custer, Christopher Bell, those guys are going to be coming crazy fast through those slower cars. But all he needs to do is get to the stage end, and then he's going to have some good fresh tires that he can put on his race car.
Top 7 stayed out, Michael.
He's not getting to the stage end with the wind, with those tires. As soon as they go green, it's going to be chaos. 3-4 wide. Jason Burdett, what's he wondering, Chad? Buddy, good luck.
Right now,
the advice he's giving to his driver.
He's trying to do everything he can to tell his driver that everything's going to be okay. And Justin inside the race car is trying everything he can to believe him, knowing that that's not the case.
There'll be 13 to go in this second stage when we go back under the green flag as we look at our Xfinity fastest pit stops. Austin Cindric in the 22, and his team doing a nice job at 13.8. Nemechek at 13.9 in the 23, and not a bad stop for Cole Custer. They come off at 14 flat. Custer will be the first on 4 fresh tires. He restarts 7th, and it's Bell, Cindric, and Nemechek. The rest of the top 10, those I just mentioned, came down pit road, and they will be coming in a hurry.
Now remember, you cannot begin or initiate your pass until you cross the start-finish line. So pay attention to that right now with Cole Custer and Christopher Bell.
Justin Allgaier's got 5 friends on the racetrack. It's the guys that stayed out with him. How long can they hold up that pack? Look at that red.
Fender damage. It looks like Bell's got it.
3 top.
Kaz Gralla looking for the race lead. Couldn't make the move to the inside. 3 wide behind him. What a mess this is.
Still 3 top. Left front tire up. Get a good look at it here, guys. Left front. Inside 22. 3 mid. 2 top.
It's quit smoking somewhat, Chad.
Yeah, it's not bad. Sometimes, I hate to say it, the tires tend to clearance themselves. And it looks like he's moved up the track. He's got that place thing in a good spot. Oh, and he's going for another.
Look at that action.
And Cole Custer, who did come down pit road to the inside of Justin Allgaier. The tires paying off. 0 on point.
That could be the pass for the lead right there. If the rain comes at the end of this stage, the race will be completed.
And Cole Custer going for the dash for cash.
Clear.
What about Zane Smith in that green number 8? He makes a nice move down on the bottom.
Only his 3rd career start.
That tire's going to go. I just don't see it making it. Do you, Chad?
Boy, Michael, I hate to call that
10
one.
left stage. 10 left.
There it is. Oh. So it looks like Bassett spun the tires. The 08 ran into him, and that's what got into the 20. So that's just composite right there on the left front. I think he's going to be okay. I don't think it's going to blow that tire. They might be able to make it to the end of the race, but definitely losing some performance with that huge hole in the nose right there.
It looks like a mess, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's awful.
And the good news for them, if we don't get the rain with 9 to go, and we might get a caution for this. The spin, there goes Bell. Keeps it going in a straight line. No caution yet. There it is. Wow.
Oh, Jason Burdett, what do you do now, buddy?
Well, now I guess, you know, the question becomes, how quickly can they get this cleaned up, and will we go back green before the end of the stage?
I think we're going to go back green, Adam. I don't think there's really anything to clean up, and that little nudge to the left front of the 20 car of Christopher Bell shouldn't have hurt anything any worse than it is. They're going to have to work on it anyway.
I think Jason Burdett, the wise choice at this point would be just to go ahead and stay out on the racetrack and not hit pit road.
And that's exactly what they did. They stayed out. The only car coming to pit road is Christopher Bell with his damage. Wow, that was pretty intense, wasn't it? Turn that thing sideways down into the corner.
He's in, Jamie.
Jason Ratcliffe on the radio, very calm. He said, all right, let's fix it here. Let's get the Barrett Bond, have 1 tire ready, a scuffed left front. That's what they're going to put on, because as you mentioned, we have 1 set of stickers left here. But big turn of events for the 20, who looked to be the class of the field early.
Coming to 6 laps to go.
The track's in good shape.
Yeah, it does. The one good thing about this racetrack, it is pretty porous. And the more porous the racetrack is, if we do start to get a sprinkle, it really absorbs it, and you can continue to race pretty quickly.
Yeah, I didn't see any ill effects on that restart of the rain and the precipitation it's been in the area. I'll tell you, you talk about sitting right. Cole Custer, I mean, he got the tires. He was able to get through the restart cleanly, despite the fact that some of those guys in front of him didn't have the tires. And now he has the lead. He's going for the $100,000, and he's just going to have a short little run here to try and win stage 2.
The 9 of Noah Gregson's got some damage on that right front from bumping into Bell, but that won't hurt a thing.
That's fine.
That's a short track.
That's fine. He'll be fine. You can complain about that later. Just go racing right now. Zane Smith, what a great performance tonight.
He's been impressive, huh, Adam? Every time we see him roll out, a lot of speed.
Well, you know, last week he lost an engine. They had to change it, start to the rear at Bristol. Took a couple of free pass opportunities to get back to 11th. And was going to finish top 10 in his debut at Las Vegas, if not for being caught up in an overtime crash. So he's been impressive, certainly showing off his talent driving that 8 car. Vince?
You know, it's interesting, too, in regards to Zane. He said, I've had my hands full, and especially through the center, I was too busy to tell you, as he was communicating with his crew chief.
Tell him, Vince, we can confirm that from the onboard with Elliott Sadler. He's just back and forth on that wheel. These guys are really slipping and sliding.
Getting ready to come to the green. Lights are off for the pace car. We got 4 to go once we take the green to get to the stage. Man, I'm not feeling a lot of luck here for our number 7 boys. That's a tough spot to be in. I think he's going to be middle of 3 wide once again once we get to turn 1.
4 to go when we go green. Rain is in the area, and once we finish stage 2, this race would be official. Cole Custer takes the inside lane, and he's pulling away as he takes the green flag. Zane Smith trying to get second away from Cindric. John Hunter Nemechek is there. Noah Gregson in the mix.
There's no room.
Yeah, that's not good.
Roll the bottom here, roll the bottom straight up off. Bottom of 3, bottom of 3, bottom of 3.
The Malachi crunch.
Bottom of 3, bottom of 3, bottom of 2 now. That's your quarter tight.
How?
Bottom of 2 to 22. A back in line with you.
There might be a little payback coming here.
How did they keep those cars going straight? They were all over each other.
Ryan Sieg is back there. He's running in the 6th position. What a great night for the 39. 2 laps to go this time.
This is good racing. Aggressive racing.
That 00 is just waving by.
He had a lot of confidence, Chad, about how that car was driving in practice. Look at those raindrops dropping in the windshield. That'll get your attention as a driver.
1 lap to go, stage 2. And he's going to get the green and white checkered. Is Cole Custer. It could equal the black and white checker as we see rain on the radar. Won earlier this season in Fontana, California, and trying to win for the 2nd time on the campaign. 2nd stage win for Cole Custer comes here at Richmond. Rest of the top 5, Cindric, Nemechek, Zane Smith, Ryan Sieg. Gregson, Briscoe, Reddick, Jones, and Haley also score points. There's a proud papa. Two is complete in the ToyotaCare 250. Cole Custer gets the victory. He's Dash for Cash eligible, and right now, long way to go, but right now in the catbird seat to win the $100,000. And now we get pit stops for those who didn't come down prior to the end of the stage. Vince?
Well, for Justin Allgaier, just got caught on the wrong side of that pit sequence, but he really likes the balance of his car, so it's just going to be 4 tires. He said if this thing goes to the end, we're going to get him. We'll find out.
Optimistic. I like that.
I do like that confidence. Bell is back in as well, Michael.
Yeah, no adjustments for Allgaier. I think that he's got a chance to get him. It's going to be tough, but, you know, if you see a caution at the wrong time during the race, strategy could come into play again. This car is repaired, getting 4 tires on it, and we know how fast Bell's been all night. This is really shaping up to be an interesting race to the finish.
Christopher Bell, Kaz Gralla, Justin Allgaier sitting here with fresh tires. You ready to take the green flag?
I like it.
Gonna be exciting.
I said earlier this week that Christopher Bell in the Xfinity Series reminds me of what we've seen out of Kyle Busch at the Cup level. Damaged race car, trying to rally back. We saw it last week from Kyle. Maybe tonight it's Christopher's turn. Stage 2 goes to Custer. What a great night it's been for him.
Let's see if we can get him on the radio. Hey, Cole Custer, it's Michael Waltrip, Chad Canals, and all the boys from Fox Sports. Do you copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, that was an impressive stage win there. The car looked solid. How's it feeling, and how do you feel about the track conditions?
It's soaking wet. It's definitely, I got rain on the windshield and everything, but I don't know. We'll see what we got here. I think our car is pretty good. It's just a matter of having a good restart. Hopefully the corner's good when we get down in there.
I hear you on the soaking wet. I'd be saying the same thing, buddy. Have a good rest of your day, bud.
Thank you, guys.
If ever there was a rain dance, we've
great.
got one going on right now in the 00 pit. Just about ready to go in our final stage. Final stage with 91 laps to go. Front row, Cole Custer, Austin Cindric. But watch Christopher Bell. He restarts 21st. Justin Allgaier goes 16th. It is time for the stretch run in the ToyotaCare 250, and the lights have gone back on the pace car. We'll go around one more time. Not just any pace car. That's the Toyota Supra pacing the field tonight. So as we anticipate the green flag, we remind you Fox Sports Supports is proud to partner with Action for Healthy Kids, a nonprofit organization working to improve children's health and well-being in schools nationwide. Find out how to involve your local school in Every Kid Healthy Week. It's April 22nd to the 26th by visiting actionforhealthykids.org.
Lights are off on the pace car.
You can hear Briscoe trying to heat up his tires, making sure they're going to go. Stick to the road when he gasses her up here.
90 laps to go in Richmond.
Hard to accelerate on those scuff tires.
All clear.
Nice
Three
run
wide middle, outside, three wide middle, outside and inside. Outside and inside.
Following the progress of Allgaier outside on fresher tires, the 7's electric right now.
Loving it. Loving it. He'll be on the inside of the next car here going into this corner to turn 1.
16th to 8th in one lap. That's not bad.
I'm loving it.
It's so great. This opportunity they've got, they could actually get up front and stretch this a long ways, and they've got the benefit of having better fuel in their car than everybody else. They're actually capable of making it to the end of the race, where these other guys, man, it's borderline. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it.
He's already racing up for a top 5 spot. You see him on the outside around Gregson. Got his eyes on Ryan Sieg there on the bottom. He's going to get to the outside of the 39. Nice move.
Most important thing right now for Jason Burdett and their spotter is to calm that man down. He needs to take care of his stuff a little bit, make sure he doesn't tear the race car up. He said it himself. Very happy with the race car. Didn't want any adjustment, just wanted 4 tires.
Well, and you mentioned if this thing goes green, he's in good shape to make it all the way to the checkered. He knows that. So it's important, as you see again, to the outside, going for the 4th position.
All clear, all good.
All clear, all good. That's the best thing you ever hear on a short track. Soothing the way Eddie DeHaan says it too, isn't it?
Christopher Bell, damage and all, has worked his way up to 11th. He's not out of the game yet.
11th.
Just think how bad things looked for Jason Burdett and Justin Allgaier just about 10-15 minutes ago.
We wrote them off.
And
every Cup crew chief is paying attention to what's going on right now. The 20 passing another on the inside.
Clear right now by quarter.
You know what this is going to come down to?
Clear high.
It's going to come down to a battle of Christopher Bell and Justin Allgaier, just like we thought the whole night.
Who'd have thunk it?
Ryan Sieg challenging Zane Smith for a spot inside the top 5. Still got my eye on Gregson. He's got a little bit of damage, but man, he just seems to have a good long run car. He's up in the 6th, 7th spot right now, so maybe he's close enough to where as the laps get the tires heat up and he gets more laps on his tires, he can go up there and contend.
And you see highlighted in red, all 4 of those drivers going for the bonus $100,000 in the Dash for Cash. They're inside the top 10. Bell is now 8th. Custer leading. And another guy on fresher tires, the 21.
Three Roger up top.
Kaz Gralla, saw him making a move.
3 Roger up top.
Now 3 Roger up top is not what you want to hear on a short track.
These two cannot separate from one another.
The 8 car's really starting to search around a little bit. Oh, the 7 car's taking over 2nd place from Cindric here.
82 to go. He's 1.4 seconds behind. So we will continue to monitor the difference as he tries to regain the race lead. Stage 1 got out of balance when he stayed out instead of pitting when everyone else came down. But it's worked out for him. The rain has stayed away, and the door may still be open for his first win of the year. Meanwhile, Christopher Bell, who brought out the caution, had damage. He's trying to get the 6th, and he's going to do it around Zane Smith.
That's when your spotter needs to come on at him and say, there's one coming in a hurry. Just when he gets there, make room for him. And that's what you can see Ryan Sieg lays low because Bell's got so much momentum.
But I go back to what Chad said earlier. You have to have a versatile race car if you're going to win tonight. We've seen it out of Bell and Allgaier throughout the evening.
Still there, at your door. 20's inside of him. Top of 3. Top of 3. Top of 3. Top of 3. Top of 2. Middle.
These guys don't back out, do they?
Still there full.
Oh, he's sideways.
To bend you out back inside 39.
See,
Clear up.
and that spin right there on your rear tires, that will hurt him later on in the run more than anybody could even imagine. Every time you spin the tires, you're just taking life away from them. Now, he feels like he's way faster than these guys, so he should be able to clear them really quickly and easily, but it's just not that simple. We've seen the lap times and the guys up front start to level off a little bit. Custer's still running those 70s. Allgaier's running those 70s. So everybody's trying just kind of settling in now just a little bit.
With that pass, Bell ran a 70. So
Yeah.
with that type of action and traffic, he's still able to match the leader lap time.
Is it fool's gold a little bit, Michael, when you restart 20th around some slower cars? You get through 7 or 8 of them real quickly, and then you're like, I got this. And all of a sudden, the competition stiffens.
Hey, y'all, watch this. Usually doesn't work out too well.
Man, I'm loving that 39 car. It is amazing how well they've done.
Got him some,
About your door here.
got him some new equipment, a new sponsor on the side of that 39 car. And this team has proven that they're going to be in the playoffs.
Also got a big bag of confidence. That never hurts.
Confidence, momentum, whatever you want to call it. It never hurts to have that on your side as you're going into these racetracks.
Coming to 75 to go. Custer leading the ToyotaCare 250. Celebrated the success of Joe Gibbs Racing a lot in 2019. We're going to pick on him for a minute. First, Riley Herbst getting some damage here as he races with Kaz Grala. Herbst in his second career start being scored 16th, and his teammate Brandon Jones headed toward the garage. Appeared to be an engine problem there, so that's not good. Now carrying the flag for JGR is Christopher Bell. He's running third right now behind Allgaier and Custer.
Unfortunately for Bell, the best we understand is he's out of sticker tires. So caution comes out. All he's going to have are cold scuffs to put on that race car, while the rest of the guys are going to be able to put on fresh stickers. Probably not the best spot. So he needs to make hay as he's got the opportunity right now.
Yeah.
The lead for Custer has balanced. Let's hear what he has to say.
10 miles out, about 20 laps away to the range. Flat to a flat. Doing real good, bud.
Flat to a flat. That means they match lap times, both the 00 of Cole Custer and the 7 of Allgaier. But I'm telling you, this weather has just been nearly impossible to predict because it just seems to dissipate when it gets in the area of the racetrack.
And here's the 2 of Tyler Reddick. I thought they would be great this weekend, 9th right now, and I'm sure a lot of frustration, Jamie.
Yeah, definitely not the form we've been seeing out of the 2, and Tyler Reddick struggled so much in that only practice session this morning. They threw a bunch of changes at it. It really didn't help, but he had a good starting spot based on the lineup from points, and he's done a nice job keeping it in the top 10. But in the middle of stage 2, he felt the power steering going. Well, he reported about 10 laps ago, it is gone, so he's got his arms full.
That's not fun.
Oh.
No, you don't want to lose your power steering anywhere, but on a short track, it's just that much more difficult. Oh, there's a big rub, wasn't it?
Noah Gragson, he's not afraid to get in there and rough it up with somebody.
Neither is John Hunter Nemechek.
That's true.
We saw big evidence of that up in Canada one day at a truck race, and you can see right there behind those 2 is Reddick. Maybe that car's getting better. I think they made some progress with it.
Well, no power steering. It's pretty impressive that he's actually in there running as hard as he is right now. But that, they have been so good all season long. It's not that surprising, even with a small mechanical failure, that they can't run up there with those guys.
David Starr in the 52. A lap machine and near contact. I think there was contact with our race leader, Cole Custer.
David Starr says, I just need a little room. And I'm going to need a little bit more than you're trying to give me right here. Doesn't look like there's any damage to the 00. And
I think he's perfectly fine.
Lap time is still right on 24 flat, like we heard earlier from the spotter.
Herd range 20 laps away.
Been saying that a lot.
Yeah, we have. Well, it was raining earlier.
It was.
I didn't think we were going to make this thing official tonight. Start pouring, about 15 laps to go. Second stage, it cleared up, dried up,
told us.
and here we go.
That's what it looks like to be inside the top 10. You could see Chase Briscoe in that 98 car really working the wheel, and there's Kaz Grala.
What's the story on Chase Briscoe? Quiet night for him, Vince.
Yeah, they've just been trying to find the comfort zone with this car. And Chase admits that some of that is his own doing. You know, he's relatively inexperienced when you talk about pavement racing. I mean, he's a dirt racer by trade, but he said he's still learning what the car needs. And as a team, still trying to get that whole weekend put together. Haven't really been able to do that yet, even though they've had some good results. They've strung together some top 10s, but they know they've got a lot left in them.
Yeah, top 5 the last few weeks, but he's about to fall outside the top 10 here. Can't say enough about the job Kaz Grala has done. Limited opportunities this year. Was out front at Texas, and here he is once again.
Yeah, started in the back and has been able to race his way up toward the top 10, dives inside of Briscoe, and there you see the red car just behind this battle. That's Ross Chastain. I talked to Ross earlier today, Adam. That's not their primary car. They lost it at Bristol, so he's got a backup car. The team's budget is tight, so they had to bring a spare car. And look, up inside the top 12. That's an impressive performance by by Ross.
And Kaz Grala, Justin Alexander, the crew chief, he opted to stay out at that stage, or stay out before that stage, and then come and get his tires at the end of stage 2. So he's on the same plan as the 20 and the 7 car right now. And they're working their way up there pretty well.
They were close to not making this race when it rained earlier on the outside looking in, but a withdrawal from Morgan Shepherd opened the door for them to put themselves in the show at making the best of his second start of the year. At the front, Allgaier over a second behind Cole Custer.
One lap remaining at the pit. It's going to be close on them. It's going to be close. If they pit, it'll be right at the very end. They might make it with caution. Copy.
Yeah, I think if caution comes out, everybody's pitting to put on tires. So I think fuel will be a non-issue. Now, if it goes green, man, it's going to get exciting right there.
Because the original window was 111, and we all know that can grow as the race goes on. We've had a number of caution laps, and Custer pitted with 116 left. So you got to feel unless we get a bunch of overtimes, he's going to be all right.
Well, the other thing you have to realize is pace is dropping off. Slower pace, better fuel mileage.
55 laps remaining in Richmond, Virginia.
Drivers just won't put their phones down. We need a solution. Introducing Smart Dogs, the first dogs trained to train humans, stopping drivers from liking, selfieing, and whatever this is. Available to the public? Never. Smart Dogs are not the answer. But Geico has a simple tip. Turn on Do Not Disturb While Driving mode.
Brought to you by Geico.
NASCAR fans, are you ready to take your Wi-Fi to the next level? Then you need Xfinity XFi, a more powerful way to stay connected. It gives you super fast speeds for all your devices, Wi-Fi coverage that leaves no room behind, and lets you control your network with the XFi app. It's the ultimate Wi-Fi experience. Xfinity, official partner of NASCAR.
years ago, they conquered the world. Now, they're back.
The World Cup. The shot! Sensational finish! It's unbelievable! He will shock the world!
You can't ask for anything more special than what we have here tonight.
It's going to be a great afternoon for racing. Yeah, man!
48 laps to go in the ToyotaCare 250 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Cole Custer is leading. And these teams will be off next week for the Easter holiday. And in 2 weeks' time, we go to Talladega. And earlier this week, Cole was in Alabama promoting the event, and he was throwing axes as part of the promotion. He also raced go-karts. I think I would stick with that.
He probably did much better.
That's as fun as you want to have. Get out to the go-kart track and race some of your buddies. That's good times right there.
When he was throwing that hatchet, I would have felt better if he would have had his helmet on. That looked really dangerous to me.
Well, you're a father now.
I am.
Perhaps that could be a nice father-son thing to do. Just go out in the backyard and throw the old hatchet. No? You're not buying that?
I'm not liking where you're going, Adam.
I'm not. I'll stick to the go-kart track.
I'm just trying to help. Jamie, what do you have?
Well, about 20 minutes ago, Cole Custer and this 00 team thought they had this race wrapped up. They thought they had the win. His dad is pacing, wearing out the pavement down here. Well, look at this. This isn't his pit box. This is the radar. The racetrack is right here. Look at this green blob. It keeps splitting around the racetrack. And Cole just came on the radio and said, where is the rain? It is dry as can be right now. His crew chief, though, keeping the hope and just said, hey, 15 more laps. The rain is coming.
I just got a text from Daryl. You know why he thinks the rain isn't here.
Tell us, remind us.
Yes, the old vortex theory. Cars whipping around is keeping the rain away.
Man, I've always wanted to say he's crazy, but I'm telling you, I'm looking at my radar, and it's been like this all night long. As soon as the weather gets right to where the dot is for Richmond, Virginia, it dissipates and it stays dry.
And Cole Custer says, darn you, Chad, I don't need that right now. But he's been able to not only maintain his lead, but he's grown it a little bit over the last few laps. How about these cars battling up inside the top 15?
You mentioned Chastain.
Yeah, and there's Gray Galding. He's been good all night long. And then Dylan Bassett in the 90 we talked about earlier.
You know, Bassett gets up there in the top 15, then something happens, they fall back. Maybe it's part of a cycle of strategy or whatever. But I think both he and his brother Ronnie have proven how talented they are. And it was a tough situation a few years ago for this family. They were running in K&N. A fire at the shop took out all their equipment. So they've had some tough times to battle through. But a couple of kids out of Winston-Salem and getting an opportunity and showing just what they've got.
Been impressive.
You know, the lead for Custer was hanging around 0.7 of a second, and now it's grown to 1.3. Now, I will say this, Bell was 4 seconds back. He's now got his deficit down under 3 seconds, but it's just not going to happen at this stage unless Custer really has a problem. Vince?
Well, and you wonder, Allgaier had to be so aggressive to get up through the field to get to the position he's at now, how much abuse he put on those tires. He says right now that just not the grip that he needs to cut into that lead. But Allgaier holding steady at second. And of course, both of them have Allgaier and Custer with a set of tires left in the pits.
And Vince, I agree with you 100%. That's exactly what we saw. The drop of the green flag. Justin's 3 wide, passing guys at every opportunity, and we got a caution in the front straightaway here. Looks like the 52 car Stars spun.
Good job, bud. Good job.
See, he's got a right rear flat there. Maybe that caused the spin.
And the reaction from Mike Shiplett.
Got a little help.
I don't think it was the right rear tire.
Come on. We'll get the yellow here. They don't see it. Yellow.
Interesting opportunity here, or an opportunity now for the 20 car.
He's toast now.
I would have to agree with you, Michael.
These guys are going to pit. Didn't have any tires, and cold scuff tires. won't stick like new ones for sure.
Definitely not for 38 laps left to go in the race.
And because of that, it's a no-brainer that everybody pits here, right? I mean, you come get that final set of stickers.
Everybody pits at this point. The only a couple guys were actually good enough to make it on fuel safely, so they'll all come down, get 4 fresh tires, get it full of fuel, and we're going to have a shootout here for the end of this race, with 2 guys still in the top 5 for the Dash for Cash.
Some great pictures here of David Starr going for a ride. Our group, NASCAR on Fox, always doing an unbelievable job. Track opened up for 7 o'clock this morning, and our crew was here then. Thank them for their hard work as always.
So where's this rain? No, bud, I'm not a weatherman. It's all green, but we'll get destroyed if we stay out on tires. So we got to come in pit.
Where's this rain you've been speaking of?
Everybody's pitting. Everybody's going to pit.
I said this earlier, but Custer won the pole last week at Bristol. We used that qualifying session to pick pits for tonight's race. So Custer is in that #1 stall. That qualifying setup last week at Bristol could be what wins him the race here tonight, because this cycle of stops is going to be huge.
And Chad, you know how important it is to execute on pit road during crunch time. This is the money stop here.
It really is. And the thing that's really touchy about this pit road is it's on a radius, it's curved. So maintaining your pit road speed down this pit road as a driver can be very challenging, and it's hard for the guys, the pickers, to see the cars coming into the pit box.
Heading your way, Vince.
Well, just as Justin Allgaier hits his box, we're starting to get a few more sprinkles. Justin said just overall less grip that run. It's 4 tires and an air pressure adjustment. As far as the 39 of Ryan Sieg pitting from the 5th spot, he said it just doesn't want to make the center too tight. They're not going to change anything. That's how good that car is. 4 tires, no changes at all for Sieg. Great run for that 39 team. Jamie?
The 20 of Christopher Bell losing front grip, not good on the long run. Remember, he only has scuffed tires left. They have already been run. On the right side, the 00 puts his last set of sticker tires on, an air pressure adjustment, a little bit tight in the middle, and here comes the 7, Adam.
20 had a bobble on the right side. Custer wins the race off pit road.
There's more than one way to break down the fight. With your hands, aggression, he does it with his mouth. Business is business. You put up your gloves, put on your suit, and let's go right now. I'm coming for him, that's what it is.
We've got a great fight. Prime time opportunity to beat Peter Thrower.
Premier Boxing Champions. Quillen versus Truax. Saturday at 10 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
You have to be perfect. Every week matters, every one of them. Nothing ever goes to plan.
I can't see.
I put a helmet on and I become a different person.
It's going to get crazy.
Being able to go that fast and make split-second decisions. It's 140 degrees inside the race car, and you can't afford to make a mistake. If you're not tired, you didn't drive hard enough.
The right gear matters. Introducing the all-new 2019 Ford Ranger. It's the right gear with a terrain management system for this, a bash plate for that, an electronic locking rear differential for, this. Heading to the supermarket? Get any truck. Heading out here? Get the Ford Ranger. The only adventure gear built Ford tough.
And we welcome back Gary, who's already won 3 cars, 2 motorcycles, a boat, and an RV. I would not want to pay that insurance bill.
Oh, I have Progressive, so I just bundled everything with my home insurance. I'm saving a ton of money.
We love you, Gary! You don't have to buzz in. It's not a question, Gary. On March 1st, 1810.
Frederick Chopin.
Collapsing in 226.
The Colossus of Rhodes.
Louise Dustman.
Brahms' Lullaby or Friegenlied.
When will it end?
Not today, Ron.
Beautiful but very warm Sunday afternoon.
Campgrounds are full.
Happy race day, everybody. It's going to be a great afternoon for racing.
You can't ask for anything more special than what we have here tonight.
Drivers, start your engines!
Let the party begin.
You have to be perfect. It's 140 degrees inside the race car, and you can't afford to make a mistake.
Going to get a restart with 32 laps to go. It's all on the line in the ToyotaCare 250 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series, second short track race of the year at Richmond Raceway. Front row, Cole Custer, the leader with Allgaier, Cindric, Zane Smith behind him. His mom all kind of nervous in the pit lane as he leads him back.
Oh, spinning the tires by Justin Allgaier right there.
Oh, there goes Gregson around.
Watch it. Hold your brake.
That was a great job of driving by those cars that were able to avoid
Easy on those tires. He just took life out of those tires. Easy on those tires.
Once a crew chief, always a crew
Hey, man.
chief. Coach him up.
That's my last set. You got to take care of those tires.
You nailed it, Chad. That 7 car just tried to get on the gas, and look, sideways it goes, and it just creates a log jam behind him.
We talked about it earlier in the show, Michael. Coming off through that restart zone, you actually drive up into the banking, and that inherently makes your car free.
Wow, Kaz's car didn't turn.
Now that, to me, looks like he was on the splitter. Low tire pressure. You see that a lot at these short tracks. The car will sit down on the splitter and just go straight up the racetrack. That's definitely what was going on.
Look how fast he was heading up the racetrack, like you said. And God, what a good job there by Haley getting by.
Tough restart for Junior Motorsports. The spin for Noah Gregson after the 7 of Allgaier spun his tires and caught in the middle. The 8 of Zane Smith. Here we are on board Chase Briscoe.
Keep digging the wreck. Easy now. The red and yellow's out here.
This is an amazing move. Watch Justin Haley. Whoa, missed one. Oh, there's another one. Wow, that was beautiful.
I think it was Greg Galding he almost hit when he dove down low. We'll see it here.
It's just so frustrating late in the race when you're lined up like that. Somebody spins their tires, and everybody tries to take advantage of it.
And everybody is 10-10s right now, trying to get everything they can out of their race cars. With only 30 laps to go, you've got to go for it.
Love that move by Haley.
And after the caution came out, a little nonverbal communication.
Chad, you need to tell him to take care of those tires. He's still abusing them, darn it.
Not only that, he just ripped a hole in the left rear quarter panel. Look, if you're going to get into a car fight, do it under green when it actually means something. If you do it under caution, it doesn't do anybody any good.
Sounds like an experienced NASCAR crew chief speaking there. Now the driver gets mad and he forgets those words momentarily. I need relief. I've got to go show my displeasure, and the only thing I have is a car to do it with.
But to put it all in perspective, a year ago, he was second here in his debut. He thought so much was on his way tonight.
Yeah, sorry about that. I rolled in with everyone else and just totally lost the nose. Yeah, let his spotter know I was totally a mistake.
Side by side with it.
Yeah, and you could see it, Chad. He just, like you said, got on the splitter. He said he lost the nose. That means the nose bottomed out on the track, and the wheels, the front tires just come up off the pavement a bit.
Yeah. And he's hard on the gas. He's really tight on the 9 right there and trying to make an opportunity to go to the inside. I'm assuming that's what was going on. You can almost see there's no daylight underneath there.
And look at it just change lanes.
Yeah. Unfortunate for both.
I do believe, though, if Kaz is able to calm down, he sees a replay of this, he'll understand that car just, I mean, it just took away. It just took off on him, like he said.
We're talking about everything that went wrong here. Let's talk about what went right. Ryan Sieg, who was back in 6th or 7th on the restart, is now 4th. And just in front of him, where in the world did Tyler Reddick come from? He is 3rd.
Did they get that power steering fix? That's what I want to know.
Well, it looks like he's shaking his tires around a bit, like he may have. I don't think he could run as good as he is right now if it was totally out. Maybe intermittent.
Sure.
It's causing him issues, but that's a great recovery for a team that didn't like their car from the time they unloaded it this morning, right up there racing for the win.
Going to be 25 to go when we get the green flag. Cole Custer is the race leader.
I mean, the radar's got it right on top of us.
I'm ready for it to start hitting the back of my neck.
Either way, we got the best car. Either we'll get it by rain or we'll get it by winning this thing, bud.
The drivers, you know, they don't have access to radar. They think somebody's pulling my leg. I've heard about this rain all night long, getting ready to dump down on us. A few sprinkles is about all we've seen.
Custer trying to win for the second time this season. Cindric, who is to his outside on the restart, never won in the Xfinity Series.
Air pressures are up in the tires now a little bit. Good start by the 22 of Austin Cindric.
Reddick out of line, same for Allgaier. 3 wide into 1.
Whoa, look at that.
Great momentum off the corner on the high side.
Strong power move.
Cindric to the race lead. Allgaier inside of Reddick.
Yeah, watch that 7 car. You talked about his sideways there. That's touchy. I don't know about that start. I think NASCAR will probably take a look at that and see if Cindric broke first.
Let's see it one more time. He beats him to the start-finish line. That's not illegal in this situation.
It just depends on who.
Restart is clear. Everyone's at minimum.
Don't you love that? He just made a great move. It was so good. NASCAR said, we better take a look at that.
And Austin's in a great spot right now, much like we were talking about. As soon as the car behind you gets into that dirty air, it slows their momentum down. So even if Austin hasn't been as fast as the 00 all night long, right now he'll be able to manage that fairly well, I think.
Man, Justin really dove down into turn 3 and took that position away from Reddick. He's going to battle back with the crossover move on the bottom. Justin knows how important in that 7 car, how much he needs to get this spot away if he's going to go up there and win this race.
Another look at the restart. And a little contact from Reddick and Custer there. That might open the door for Cindric.
That is exactly why the 00 spun his tires right there. They were turning like racetrack.
And I was thinking during the caution, and Adam, you'll understand this, there's nobody that's going to be wilder in a sprint for the checkered flag than Tyler Reddick, and that's exactly what we saw there. He got too aggressive, though, and it cost he and the 00 both.
On your tight.
Bell on those older tires going in the wrong direction. He's now outside the top 10. Meanwhile, here is Custer trying to reclaim the top spot from Cindric as we will see 20 laps to go the next time around.
You see the 00 starting to move around a little bit, try to get some of that clean air and get the momentum to get alongside the 22, run just a little bit higher up the racetrack.
And he's making it work.
Yeah.
Outside your door. That's your door here. 20 to go. 20 to go, just you and the 00. Still even. Just the 00 there by 15 to the 7, by 15.
That was a nice move.
Yeah, that 00 is strong.
You know, I'm loving the racing we're seeing tonight, the multiple grooves that we have, and this makes me really look forward to the big race tomorrow night. We're going to see these Monster Energy Cup drivers all over this little racetrack.
Stewart Haas may be trying to sweep the weekend. Kevin Harvick on the pole tomorrow. Great in practice earlier today. Cole Custer leading now with 19 laps remaining. He, too, pilots his Ford for Stewart Haas.
He's got his eyes on $100,000 cash, I believe.
That's exactly what his eyes are on. And I think if you want to know what's more important to a race car driver, a trophy or a victory, I pick trophy. I won a $100,000 bonus once. I don't have that anymore, but I got every trophy that I ever won, and that's what it's all about, taking your team to victory lane and celebrating.
Allgaier 2 seconds back, Vince.
Well, and the confidence that we heard from Allgaier before, we're not hearing it right now. Justin just told Jason Burdett the car is out of the track, very similar to the run before. Certainly not the grip and the balance that they had earlier in the race.
So frustrating. And I want to go back to Custer, because when he got the lead, you talked about the power move. I think it speaks to his maturity and how patient he was after losing that front spot on the restart.
Well, especially since he thought he had the race won. I mean, it was raining. He thought he had it won at the end of stage 2. He thought the rain was going to come. Then he found himself in second, out of position. But patience paid off, and he's just got the fastest car right now.
You hear him asking, where's this rain you've been talking about? Where's this rain I've been hearing about all night long? And Mike Shiplett's just saying, look, buddy, I'm not a weatherman. Let's just get out there, get collected, and go out there and try to win this race naturally.
This is our 8th race of the year, and you saw Ryan Sieg there trying to finish inside the top 5. As we go on board with Elliott Sadler, 13th right now in his return. We'll see him again later this year at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
I love these two guys right here. They have been racing side by side, nose to tail, door to door in the top 10 all night long. Ryan Sieg, I'm very impressed with what they've got going on right there. And that 8-car, man, Taylor Moyer's done a great job with that new rookie driver. I think it's pretty impressive what they got going on.
He told me last week he's a people person. He said, I'm country enough that I can go hunting with Jeb Burton, and I'm California enough I can go surfing with Zane Smith. And that chemistry is paying off as the 8 tries to go back inside the top 5. What about it, Vince?
Well, it certainly has been an impressive run for that 8. And you mentioned Travis Moyer. This is the 5th different driver he's worked with this season already. Smith, just his 3rd Xfinity Series start. He'll be back in the car at Dover. Brett Moffitt will be in this car at Talladega the next race. But Zane Smith certainly making his presence felt here tonight.
Uh-oh, he's going to slip up. That's hard to do. Be aggressive down on the bottom. You can see him working that wheel.
Got a lapper right up here.
Zane Smith did a nice job there hanging on to that car. He's better than Sieg, but completing a pass down on the bottom is just difficult.
Heard the spotter there, Tab Boyd, on the radio. Did a great job for many years with Joey Logano. Now working with your guy, William Byron.
I didn't know you was spotted for those guys.
He'll be warmed up for tomorrow night, you know?
Yeah, that's good. Hopefully keep that 24 car, get that 24 car in the top 5 or 10 like those guys are running tonight.
I'm going to see 10 to go this time around. If Custer wins, it would be his 2nd victory of the year. His mother, Cindy, no doubt full of anxiety in the pit box. But what kind of a statement does this make, and what kind of a message does it send? Multiple victories this early in the year for this team.
I think he made that statement at California when he drove to victory lane. That was such an impressive run to beat Kyle Busch the way he did, but just the job he's doing in general behind the wheel of that 00 car. He's proven that he's championship capable and can win multiple races. I think it just sends a message not only to his team that I can get it done behind the wheel, but the competition as well.
9 laps to go for him, Jamie.
And that win back at California has done a lot for Cole Custer personally. He said just knowing they had that win in the bank relieves a lot of stress and second-guessing himself. And I think that's exactly what we saw with those patience. We saw how patient he was after that restart. Now here he is looking to get his 2nd win of the season.
I like the versatility of that team right now. They're able to run fast at a very high wear 2-mile oval like Fontana. They're running fast in a short track here in Richmond. They've shown speed just about everywhere they've gone, and I think that really bodes well for them going through the summer months and getting ready to go into the championship hunt in the fall.
And same the case for this guy. Austin Cindric's done a nice job in 2019, proving that they've got the speed to compete for wins as well. Kind of disappointing last half of the race for the 7. We know how upset he was last week after winning the first 2 stages that he couldn't close the deal. That frustration is only going to grow after tonight.
I know he didn't get the checkered flag, but in a way, all they fought through, really from the start of practice, a little bit of a moral victory for the 2-team of Tyler Reddick, who appears to be on his way to another top 5 finish. Maybe the biggest disappointment for him, he's going to be 2nd in line when it comes to winning that $100,000, the bonus that is given out in the Dash for Cash.
Ryan Sieg right now, Zane Smith, both those guys putting down lap times as fast as Cindric, as fast as Allgaier, just a little pinch off of what the 00 is capable of doing. And I know I've said it all race long, but very, very impressed with both of those two guys.
And if you're Cole Custer and you could see the way some of these battles are going on this racetrack, you're just thinking, keep them straight, boys. Just don't cause a caution. I don't want to have to win this thing in overtime. What about Riley Herbst? Another driver that's rebounded nicely. He's driven up inside the top 10. That's an impressive performance for that young driver.
2 career starts, 2 top 10s for Riley Herbst if he can hang on here, and a great effort for Ross Chastain. Michael mentioned they lost their favorite car last week at Bristol. Good comeback for the driver for JD Motorsports. 3 laps to go for our race leader, Cole Custer. Got his first career victory in 2017 at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Thought last year would be his real breakout year. Didn't win till Texas. Was able to run for a championship. Came up short in South Florida, but he served notice early in 2019. I'm going to be back, and I want the big trophy.
steady off the turn, just not spinning a tire. Dives down in toward turn 3.
All he wants to see is that white flag, and then he knows he can bring it home. 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
And that rain that Cole Custer was asking about is just starting to show up.
That'll be nice for him to get to victory lane and it be raining, since he's been looking for it all night.
What a night for Cole Custer. What a start to the season. 2nd win of the year. Going to be his first at Richmond. He delivers on a Friday night under the lights.
Awesome. Good job, guys. Nice job. Watch your water. Watch your water. Don't get the engine hot.
You know why he's saying that, right?
First short track win. We've been waiting for that for a while.
Got to run those engines 4 times in the Xfinity Series, so they don't want to mess that thing up.
Here comes that 22 up to you. Yeah, just take care of your stuff here. That's an awesome drive right here, bro. That's big league stuff.
Great job by Mike Shipley. Not a good weatherman. Not a good weatherman, but a really good crew chief. He's a lot of experience, is doing a really good job with that 00 team this year.
Cole Custer wins and gets the $100,000 payday. He should celebrate this one.
That's a beautiful job and nice crispy donuts.
Great job by the whole team. Pit stops. Spotter did a good job. They had a lot of opportunity throughout the course of the race to have a potential problem. They kept their heads. They did a really good job all race long.
Good night for SHR. Custer wins. Briscoe 8th inside the top 10 again.
Yeah, a lot of impressive runs for some of our young racers. Riley Herbst with virtually no experience in these cars, and he got trapped all the way back outside the top 20 for part of this race and was able to race his way back up toward the front.
Great feeling there, Michael.
Yes, it is. It's the best.
Heard Custer say it's great to finally win on a short track. They've been an intermediate team. Wins at 1.5 miles earlier this year at California. Their program starting to show off its flexibility. The rain was around all night long, but we stayed dry, and it all worked out for Cole Custer, who wins the ToyotaCare 250. The rain is falling. It's all over in Richmond, Virginia. 4th career victory for Cole Custer. Let's go to victory lane and Jamie Little.
As the raindrops start to fall, Gatorade bath. The big check throws it to the team. I think he's saying they could have the $100,000. Cole, this is a big win. I don't know about you, but it felt like this storm, this rain was 10 minutes away the entire race. What was it like from the driver's seat?
Oh my, it was so frustrating. I was like, they kept telling me I'm like 20 laps away, never came. But we had a really great car. They made great adjustments as it went. Just can't thank Mike Shipwood and Davin and everybody back at the shop. They did a great job. This one means a lot. We haven't had a short track win yet. We've struggled a lot at short tracks, and this helped. This definitely means a lot. All my friends give me a lot of crap for being bad at this place, and I finally won. So I have a little bit of bragging rights there, so that's nice. But I don't know. I'm just so happy that 2 wins. That's pretty awesome.
I think it's pretty big for your dad. He was wearing out his shoes on the pavement. Your mom was sitting there the whole time watching. But you won $100,000. You have 2 wins now. What do you have to say about what you and this team are doing now this early in the season?
I mean, I think we're in a great place. It's just we're going to get better and better. I think we start to figure out our cars later in the race. And I think the second time we go back, we're going to be even better. Just me and Mike working together for the first time at these tracks. So I think we're just going to be a team that gets better and better as the year goes on.
Cole Custer led 122 laps and brings it home in victory lane. Vince?
Justin Allgaier was 3rd tonight. You told me before the race today it's been a frustrating season. It's got to ease the pain a little bit. I know it's not the finish you wanted, but still very nicely done.
Oh, thank you. Absolutely, it does. To have a solid top 3 finish tonight. Our brand professional agriculture Camaro was really fast early in the race, especially on the short run. And, the pit call we made at the end of the stage there, it worked out obviously in our favor, but I pushed really hard to try to get back up to the front and just didn't have quite enough there at the end to really do anything. And then I made a mistake on that last restart. It really burns me up that I made the mistake, but all in all, a great day. We hopefully got the monkey off our back. You know, hats off to all the guys at the shop, everybody on this number 7 JRM team. They've done a fantastic job. And, you know, we qualified for Dash for Cash, so a huge thanks to Xfinity and Comcast for all they do for this sport and this series especially. So we'll go give them all we got in a few weeks at Talladega for Dash for Cash. Happy Easter to everybody, and we'll go have some fun.
Yeah, nice job. 3rd place for Justin Allgaier.
He's like a television producer down there. I mean, just setting up everything we're getting ready to do. Allgaier joining Reddick, Cindric, and Cole Custer, who won tonight. 2 weeks' time, they're going for $100,000 at Talladega. How wild's that going to be?
Going to be crazy. It's going to be the best, too, because maybe it's just survival of the fittest. Whoever gets to the checker flag could walk away with $100,000.
With the draft, you never know what's going to happen at that place.
Jamie?
And Austin Cindric ties his best finish in the Xfinity Series, bringing it home 2nd. I heard you tell those boys, get the popcorn and get ready on this final restart. Where was the 00 just a little better than you?
Yeah, I felt like they just had a more complete run car. I felt like, honestly, we could fire off really well, and obviously probably got the best restart I probably could on the outside lane and made it work on the outside. But over the moon for everyone at LTI Printing, Ford Performance. Obviously get a 1-2 with those guys. They put a lot of effort into these programs, and everybody on the 22 team at Team Penske pushing hard to get me forward here. We're in the Dash for Cash next week at Talladega for the Moneyline 300, which is a big deal for me. That'd be huge to be able to put those two together and win on a plate track. So, like you said, time best finish. I want that one more spot, but we'll take it. Good night, solid night, great points, and we won.
This is still all new to you, and to see you leading like that, something you haven't had a chance to do a whole lot. Does it just fuel that fire a little bit to know what it's like to run up there with those guys?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's something I've grown confidence over the last couple of years, and what it takes to be at the top of this sport. I'm still learning, and obviously we have spurts of brilliance there is nice, and trying to put it all together. And I was having some raindrops on my windshield when I was in the lead, and I turned into the most religious person you'll ever know, praying for it to just downpour as much as you can. But hey, it's not how it worked out, and still came home with a good finish.
Well done, Austin. Thank you.
Thank you.
Vince?
What a great showing from the 39 team tonight. Ryan Sieg and has already taken a bath in the sponsorship product, just as almost like you won the race tonight. 2nd top 5 of the season. Man, that was a great run for you guys.
Yeah, it was great. The Larry's Hard Lemonade car was great all night, and leaned on a lot of experience. You know, we don't have all the resources and all the tools, and we leaned on Shane Wilson and Cowboy and myself to get a good car here and get it dialed in. And it is like a win for us. At a short track, top 5 is huge. We've only done that at a super speedway, and it's pretty exciting. It's like a win for us. We're getting better and better each week.
The interview is over.
Larry has come to the party.
You know, for some, it's Gatorade after a long night on a short track. For others, it's Larry's Hard Lemonade. Custer getting a shower as well.
Spending their Saturday under the stars at Richmond Raceway. At America's premier short track, they'll be bumping and sliding as conditions change. It's anyone's game. Who'll conquer it all and take home the win? Coverage begins 3 p.m. Eastern on FS1.
It'll be our first night race of the year for the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. We'll see you tomorrow. First, more post-race coverage tonight. Vince Welsh.
Well, what a fun night it was for Elliott Sadler. He ended up 12th. Hey, this doesn't look like retirement to me, man. I mean, here you are back with this group, and I know you and Chris Rice got it together tonight and finished 12th. How would you assess that? You got a big smile on your face, so I think it's successful.
Well, a few positives. It didn't rain, so I didn't get shorted. I got to run 250 laps. We didn't run as good as I quite, wanted to run, of course. I got us off a little bit during the middle of the race. But I thoroughly enjoyed my time. I mean, halfway during the race, I'm going to tell you, I was definitely smiling. Like, I kind of missed this a little bit. That was fun, the racing part of it. And, thanks to everybody at Nutrien Solutions, all you guys for giving us this opportunity, and Matt Collick for putting this all together. I had fun. I did not run like I wanted to run, but I honestly had a good time.
it's not enough to make you give up coaching third base.
Oh, I'm not going to give up coaching at third base. I'm having too much fun with my kids at home. I love my guys at Top Hand, and as much hard work we put into it, we got a lot more tournaments to win. And I stay in shape coaching third base. I'm a little animated, but I want my kids to be as happy and as excited as I am. But we have a lot of great things going on with that, and I love doing that. But I had a great time here tonight. So thanks to all the fans for all the well wishes and everything this week, getting ready for this race, and thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, we're glad that retirement's treating you well, but it sure was great to have you back in the sport. We miss you.
Thank you, and I did not fall at the seat. I feel great.
Let's go to JB.
Well, Tyler Reddick, after being off in practice and just being low on your luck, the power steering goes out, and you came back. I thought you were going to make a liar out of us telling that story. How did you complete it and bring it back to finish in the top 4?
I guess that's why we work out. You know, Richmond's a kind of a racetrack where it's more a mental toughness, I feel like. And when you lose power steering, I guess it becomes physical at that point. But I don't know what happened there. Coming in the pits, we had something get caught up, and I think we kinked the line or something happened. But we lost power steering from, I'd say, lap 145 or so, or whatever the end of stage 2 was there. We pitted on the end of the race. So it was a little challenging at first getting it figured out, but once I got a feel for it, wasn't too bad. It was pretty manageable, and we just kept working on our race car and made it really good there in the end. We were able to hold on, gain track position all night long. Pickery did a phenomenal job. Randall and the whole bunch did an outstanding job up on the box. You know, didn't have the car I wanted tonight, but we were able to somewhat get a pretty good finish out of it.
Now we're looking to go to a completely different racetrack in Talladega. You have a chance for the $100,000. What do you think of your chances there?
Hopefully third time's a charm for us. We've somehow been right in it every time. Unfortunately, you know, this time we weren't quite good enough to compete and go for it. But, you know, the car was so good that we took it to Daytona. It got the pole. It was handling so well. So I'm really curious to see what they got under the knife for us with that car. We got in one piece. I'm curious to see how fast it runs when we go back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great night for Stewart Haas Racing. Cole Custer wins, and his teammate Chase Briscoe finishes 8th. 6 straight top 10 for you guys. Where were you? A little bit good, a little bit not so good, but you finished top 10 very strong.
Yeah, you know, awesome to see the 0-0 guys in victory lane, but honestly, this is probably, I feel like, our worst overall race of the year. We were really good at the beginning, which is kind of the opposite of how we normally are, and that, you know, as soon as the sun went down, we just really got really loose. Didn't have any forward drive all night long, so not sure what happened, but overall, to salvage another top 10 for our Nutri-Shop Ford was pretty good. So going to Talladega where anything can happen and see if we can get in victory lane.
Yeah, well done. Chase Briscoe, 8th place tonight.
Fun evening here in Richmond, Virginia. Our post-race coverage continues after a break, live on FS1. Long evening here at Richmond Raceway. The ToyotaCare 250 is complete. Cole Custer gets the win. Many great stories inside the top 10. Let's go back to Jamie Little.
Zane Smith, his 3rd start this year. He brings it home 6th, and you just saw this place for the first time yesterday. And I'll tell you, Chad Knaus was in the booth giving you mad props for how well you drove tonight. What was it like for you here?
Well, that's huge. A big thank you to him for talking good about me. I actually leaned on Jimmy for some of this race in Bristol even, and that's been huge, and Dale has been able to help me some as well. But first off, I just have to thank Patient Pop, La Paz Margarita Mix, the Cosmopolitan, everyone that's gotten me this far in my career. This is unreal. I came to Mooresville, North Carolina when I was 15 years old and lived out there by myself, and my parents have sacrificed like so much. It's unreal. But to be standing here, I wish we could have ended up in the top 5. That'd been really cool. But it was really cool racing with Ryan Sieg there. He's I mean, somehow we always end up right near each other, and he's actually really good to race with. I mean, I feel like we were side by side for like the whole damn race. But just thank you to everyone. Happy I get to come back here.
Zane Smith will be back in 2 races at Dover.
The NASCAR Xfinity Series. Names are made here, and another star is born tonight. What an effort for Zane Smith.
I just love the door-to-door. All night long, it seemed like, with Sieg, like you talked about. And Chad, when you see a young man like that, just making his 3rd start, and he's able to battle on a short track in tight proximity with the other drivers, that's impressive.
What I think was the most impressive, he just raced for 250 laps around Richmond. calm as a cucumber. I mean, like, he is ready to go do it again. And I think he and Taylor Moyer, what they've done to come out, run with those guys at this racetrack, one of our toughest racetracks we've got in the series, and get that finish like that, I think it was pretty phenomenal.
And what about Reddick? What kind of arms the man got on him anyway? I mean, that's a battle. When the power steering goes out, it's not like just not having power steering. It makes it even harder to turn because of the caster and the way the front end is set. And I'm just impressed that he was able to battle back and do the things he did behind the wheel. I'm not going to mess with him.
I want to go back to Ryan Sieg. Top 5 finish in that 39 team, nearly dash for cash eligible at Talladega. They had an incredible night.
I think of the whole racing all night long. If you sit back and you look at the way the guys were able to maneuver around the racetrack, is a huge prequel to what we're going to have coming to us tomorrow.
And you look at our winner tonight, Cole Custer, second victory of the year. There are only 2 series regulars that have multiple wins, Bell and Custer. They're starting to separate themselves a little bit, Michael.
Yeah, and Bell had a rough night tonight, but, you know, he's going to be there all year long. But I've just seen steady, increased performance from that 00 team. They're going to be strong all the way to Homestead and a part of this championship battle.
Once again, just like we were talking about, not on one type of venue. Multiple venues, being able to bring that speed week in, week out is really impressive. And that's a hard thing to do at this series because they are moving so quickly and hitting so many different venues. Going to Talladega, I expect the exact same result for Mike Shiplett and the team.
A Stewart-Haas driver wins tonight in Cole Custer. An SHR driver on the pole tomorrow. It's Kevin Harvick that will lead us to the green, 400 laps. What do we expect there, Michael?
A wild one, like we talked about. We saw 3 and 4 wide racing tonight in the Xfinity Series. These Cup cars are going to be tightly packed together. I love the race at Bristol. Maybe my favorite short track race I've seen in a long time. I expect the one tomorrow night to top it.
You guys go 19th.
We do. Not the qualifying effort we wanted with the 24 car for sure, but we got some reasonable speed. William was pretty happy with the way the car drove, so we got an opportunity to get out there and get a good solid finish. That's what I'm looking for.
I hope you had fun. We did.
I had a great time tonight. Thanks for letting me come up and join you guys.
Yeah, it was great.
We'll see you again soon. Good luck tomorrow.
All right,
okay?
thanks, guys.
Coverage begins at 3 p.m. Eastern Time with race day on FS1. Then it's over to Fox at 7, green flag shortly after 7:30. A wild day for the Xfinity Series here at Richmond. The rain, it finally came down in Victory Lane on Cole Custer, who's won for the 4th time in his career and the 2nd time in 2019. We congratulate him. For Vince Welsh and Jamie Little on the pit lane, Michael Waltrip and Chad Knaus by my side, I'm Adam Alexander saying good night from Richmond, Virginia.